Ohai gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We're giving English reports on the games being played and hope that English-speaking fans around the globe can enjoy the game on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Tonight, we are also calling the game on the Creators of Awesomeness channel, also on YouTube. And this is a dual stream between our channel and that one as well. We're going to start off by giving you the starting lineups. First, for the visitors from Tohoku, the Rakuten Golden Eagles have sporting an 8-game winning streak. Leading off and playing in left field, wearing number 6 is Haruki Nishikawa. Batting second at shortstop, wearing number 0 is Hiroto Kobukata. Batting third and doing the designated hitting is number 3, Hideto Asamura. In the cleanup spot, playing in right field, wearing number 35 is Hiroki Shimouchi. Batting fifth at first base, wearing number 12 is Jose Marmolejos. Batting sixth at third base, wearing number 7 is Daichi Suzuki. Batting seventh at second base, wearing number 24 is Fumiya Kurokawa. Batting eighth in center field, wearing number 8 is Ryosuke Tatsumi. And batting ninth and doing the catching, wearing number 26, is Jinjiro Sumitani. They are going to be facing the right-hander Sachiya Yamazaki. He is 0-3 on the season with a ERA of 3.24. He has worked 33 and a third innings. He's allowed 28 hits, 14 runs, 12 of which are earned. He has walked 8 and struck out 22. That's your starting lineup for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Now your starting lineup for the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off in center field, wearing number 9 is Tomoya Noguchi. Batting second and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 5 is Masahiro Nishino. Batting third and playing first base, wearing number 67 is Kaida Nakagawa. The cleanup spot and playing left field, wearing number 7 is Masatako Yoshida. Doing the catching and batting fifth, wearing number 44 is Yuma Tongu. Batting sixth at third base, wearing number 6 is Yuma Mune. Batting seventh and playing second base tonight, wearing number 31 is Ryo Ota. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, wearing number 24 is Kitaro Kobayashi. Batting ninth in right field, wearing number 39 is Ryoma Akita. And they are going to be facing the left-hander Takahashi Hayakawa. Hayakawa on the season is 2-1. He's got a 1.73 ERA. He has worked 26 innings. He's allowed 17 hits, 5 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 5 and struck out 20. And now the ceremonial first pitch has been completed. And the lefty Yamazaki is getting ready to finish his tune-ups here, and we're about ready to get underway. We've got the living room in the house. We've got Vivid Life. And we probably have a lot more people in here tonight. We thank you for stopping in. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the call of the ball game between the Golden Eagles and the Buffaloes. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. It's Dave's Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, Dave, over there at Zero Fox Sports, and we're glad you could be with us here. We got everybody here tonight. We got Vivid Life saying he likes the Buffaloes, but I'm going for them Eagles. I think tonight, in my opinion, it is still tilted in the Eagles' favor. Eagles are 8 winners of 8 straight. There's one nasty-looking lineup that they can roll out there, and that is what they're going to be doing tonight against the Buffaloes. And it is going to be Nishikawa, Kobukata, and Asamura to get things going here in the top of the first inning. As Yamazaki has completed his tosses, we're ready, just about ready to get this one underway. Haruki Nishikawa steps up to the plate. He's batting .307 on the season with 5 homers and 24 RBIs. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball that misses down and in. The count is 1-0. Nishikawa getting an opportunity to play with the Eagles. He spent all of his career with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Came over as an off-season free agent, and as he swings at a fastball, this ball is lifted down the left field line. It's going to reach the netting, and into the seats it goes, and the count is now 1-1. We've got Sauce-Up Game in the house. He says, who's pitching tonight? For those of you who are listening on Twitter, the lefty Sachiya Yamazaki is going for Orix. The lefty Takashi Hayakawa is going for the Eagles. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside. And the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Nishikawa. This Eagles lineup is a left-handed laden lineup. That is something that they have from top to bottom is their strength. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. Oda ranges into the 4-hole to make the play. He flips it over to first, and that is going to retire Nishikawa on a ground out, 4-3. That is the first out of the ball game, and we are officially underway here. So 1 up and 1 away. That brings up the shortstop, Hiroto Kobukata. Kobukata on the season is hitting .241. He's got no homers and 5 runs batted in. He's been getting a start more recently. And the first pitch to Kobukata is a breaking ball, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. The home plate umpire for this one, very slow, very deliberate in making the calls. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 0-2. The catcher has already fired the ball back to the pitcher, and the umpire is still making his call. So I got to stay with him here. There is a fastball that misses down and away. The count goes to 1-2. The lefty Yamazaki really loads up the ball with the rosin bag. His hand is completely covered in the white powder. There's almost a smog around the mound. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This is driven foul over onto the seats on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. The crowd for this one is a little bit suspect. There's not a full house by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of empty seats in Osaka for this one tonight. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball is driven a little further down the third base line as it gets off into the seats. And the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kobukata. Alexander Leggett in the house tonight. We welcome you as well. Hopefully you can stick it out here with us for the duration. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to Oda at second. He moves to his right this time. He fields it. He throws to first. And Kobukata is retired on a ground out, 4-3. So the first 2 outs of the ball game all go down the same way. Ground outs, 4-3. It's going to bring up the designated hitter, Hideto Asamura. For Asamura on the season, he's hitting .314. He's got 6 homers and 25 RBIs. We're a little concerned about Asamura, at least I was statistically. It looked like last season he was falling off a bit. We got the living room in the house tonight, too. We welcome you to being here, and thank you for the props. Here comes the first pitch to Asamura. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into deep left center field. In front of the warning track is the center fielder, Noguchi. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it here in the first inning. So the Eagles go quickly. In their half of the first inning, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are underway in Osaka. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, nothing. The Orix Buffalo is coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the bottom of the first inning. Here's our friend Steve.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day. And there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday. where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Thanks again, Steve. We appreciate you and your support of the channel. And in return, we support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out. He is in the chat tonight. And don't forget, there is going to be a raffle for Steve at some point during the season here. We are going to have all the ladies out there, all the single ladies, will get an opportunity to have him possibly be able to get a date with Steve Rademacher. So we will be auctioning him off at some point this year. Be sure to check that out when it comes available. Vivid Life says, I got post-wedding in his hotel lobby and last raps in my ear. It's going to be a good night tonight. Well, hopefully. I was out last night, had a beer for the first time in about 5 months. But there was not enough beer in the bar I went to make everything look better. So here comes the first pitch fastball that is swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1 to Noguchi. So it is Tomoya Noguchi, then it is Masahiro Nishino and Kaida Nakagawa for the Buffaloes here. And the second pitch of the ball game is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-2. Noguchi on the season is batting .308. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. There's our friend undrafted player. He says it's 7:06 a.m. in France. Practicing his English and discovered the NPB. Thanks for the live. We appreciate you being here. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Noguchi is retired on strikes for out number 1. The only question to our undrafted player is, where in France do you call home? Because I've had some time in France. It's been many moons. Actually, going back years ago, I stayed in Geneva, Switzerland, right on the French border for a good solid month. Got opportunity to spend quite a bit of time in Lyon. And so here is the first pitch to Nishino. There is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Masahiro Nishino is batting .243 on the season. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. He's the designated hitter tonight. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As I mentioned before, I have to stay in there because the plate umpire tonight is not quick with his calls. There's a fastball that is swung on. It is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Sauce Up Game says another tough game for the Tigers tonight. It sure was. Sometimes you guys can't always see the chats from Twitter to the YouTube feeds. The Tigers took another one on the chin tonight, 3-2 in Houston. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. As it pretty much reached the same spot in the seats, the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nishino. And here comes the pitch from Hayakawa. It is a breaking ball lifted into left center field. Moving over to his right is Tatsumi. He's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Nishino, and he is done for out number 2. That is going to bring up Kaida Nakagawa. So for Nakagawa, not sure why he's batting in the 3 spot. He's sporting a 143 batting average. He's got no homers and no RBIs. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Nakagawa getting the nod tonight at first base. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. It's gobbled up by Kobakata. He fires to first. And that is going to retire Nakagawa on a ground out 6-3 for out number 3 here in the first inning. So for the Buffaloes in their half of the first, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We'll come back in a few minutes to chat with the chat. We're going to have an active, festive group tonight. I can feel it. We're moving to the second inning, everybody. We're glad you guys are with us. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a moment. Here's our friend Steve again.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in return, don't forget, we support Steve Rademacher. He is one and crazy guy. As we said, ladies, be sure to check out Steve and let us know what you think when we put him up for auction later on this year. It'll be a date night with Steve. That is one entertaining night, I'm sure. Here we go back to the live action. It is going to be Hiroki Shimouchi, Jose Marmolejos, and Daichi Suzuki to get things going here against the lefty Yamazaki. The first pitch delivered to Shimouchi is a fastball that misses in for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Yamazaki ready to go back to work, and he delivers a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Shimouchi. As we said, we really have to keep our eyes on the home plate umpire. That last pitch looked like it was pretty good, but his right hand did not make a move. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Shimouchi on the season is hitting .252. He's got a homer and 13 RBIs. And here's the offering from the lefty Yamazaki. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Our friend undrafted player who is got a chance to spend a full month, actually, Switzerland in particular that year. But I made a lot of trips into Lyon, got up to Paris. There's a fastball that misses down. And Shimouchi is the first runner of the night, first batter to reach base, as he's drawn a leadoff walk here in the second inning, and that's going to bring up Jose Marmolejos. For Jose Marmolejos, he's batting .237. He's got 3 homers and 13 RBIs on the season. The AAA MVP from last year and former Seattle Mariner is now starting to make his impact known in the NPB. He is a solid-looking package. He's got some pretty good-sized forearms. He's a very stocky left-handed hitter. So here comes the first offering from Yamazaki. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count is 1-0. Our friend Sauce-Up Game says Luis Garcia is a heck of a pitcher for the Astros. He is indeed. Astros gave it to the Tigers again tonight. Back-to-back victories for the Stros. There's a fastball that misses down. Boy, if this is where the umpire is going to be calling them tonight, Yamazaki's in for a tough night. Those were some pretty tough pitches. He's all around the zone, but just not good enough in the eyes of the man calling the balls and strikes. So here comes the 2-0 offering. Yamazaki holds it to chest. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And the count is now 2-1. Our friend Vivid Life says he used to live pretty close to Seattle during his Army days, but he didn't get into baseball until after he left, and now he wished he could have watched some Mariners live. Well, usually you can get pretty good seats of the Mariners games at all times of the year. There's a breaking ball that swung on its tap foul over on the first base side. The count now goes to 2-2 to Marmolejos. It's a very fickle crowd in Seattle. It's almost a crowd that will show up more for the good weather than they will for anything else, which makes them fair weather fans. Our friend Ryan is in the house tonight. We see him as well. We see Redbeard Breaks. We thank you for being here there, Jimmy. Alexander Leggett, also in the house, says his stream is syncing up. And there's a breaking ball swung on, and this ball is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Picking it up is the right fielder. He fires it in, but there is going to be cut off. Shimouchi goes all the way around to third. The throw for Makita was snapped up. That's going to hold Marmolejos at first with a single. And the Eagles are flapping their wings here in the second inning as they've got runners on the corners and nobody out. Alexander Leggett says it might be a slow day in the stadium, but the Americans are hyped tonight. Absolutely. We've got a good crowd in here today. Steve Rademacher, Ryan. Living Room says he's watching the USFL. He's got some of that action going on. He says some guy just missed a 23-yard field goal to win the game. I forgot about the USFL was starting up here. So here's Daichi Suzuki to the plate with runners on the corners, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that he swings at and misses. He almost screwed himself into the ground on that one, and the count is 0-1. Suzuki's having a tough year this year. He's batting .209. He's got a homer and 6 runs batted in. But he does play some solid defense. He's getting the nod at third base tonight. He does play some first base as well. So here comes the 0-1 offering. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Suzuki. I remember the old USFL. I actually went to an old game years ago. And there is a breaking ball that is swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Racing back on it is the right fielder, Ikeda. He makes the catch on the warning track. Tagging at third is Shimouchi, and he is going to score. Suzuki hit that one a long way. He's going to pick himself up a sac fly RBI. And that is going to open the scoring here in this one as the Eagles have jumped out in front 1-0. It'll keep Marmolejos at first. That'll bring up the second baseman, Fumiya Kurakawa. For Kurakawa, he is batting .176 on the season. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. He's getting the nod at second base tonight over Ryo Adachi, and there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. These two teams met last night. The Eagles won the opener in the series 3-2. And here's the pitch. It is a changeup that is swung on and missed. And the count goes to 1-1. In relief, Alan Bazenitz picked up the win. That is his first of the year last night. It was Hirano who took the loss, the former Diamondback and Mariner. He dropped to 2-2. And the always entertaining Yuki Matsui picked up his 9th save of the year. There's a fastball delivered. This is swung on and is belted into the right field corner. And it is a foul ball. We just missed it there. We just lose a little bit of the sight line right in the corner. And so that is just barely foul as we get the replay. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So here comes the offering. From Yamazaki, it is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul over on the third base side. That keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just checking a couple of things here as I'm looking at all my stuff here. We got 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. This ball is going to get down. It's in the corner and it's kicking around. Picking it up is the left fielder, Yoshida. He fires it in. It's going to be a double for Furukawa. The base runner, Marmolejos, goes around to third. So Furukawa using line to line, hitting that ball right down the left field line after he had just yanked one into the right field corner. And he has himself a double. And that's going to bring Ryosuke Tatsumi to the plate. Living Room wants to know if he is the head of the FCF. I don't think so. The fan-controlled league. I do hear that they're all playing all the games in one particular stadium. That's a bit strange. And so here comes the first offering to Tatsumi. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Ryosuke Tatsumi. Tatsumi on the season is hitting .224. He's got 2 homers and 7 RBIs. The infield is right on the grass of the turf here, or the green part of the turf. Already the Buffaloes are looking to try to cut a run off at the plate. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and tap foul. And that is going to run the count to 1-1. Alexander Leggett says, who's everybody rooting for, by the way? This game tonight, I have to say, this is not the A lineup that the Buffaloes are rolling out. A lot of players in the lineup that I would consider some of their younger players, or maybe guys that they're giving days off to their starters. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2. The Eagles are certainly the team to watch right now. They are in first place in the Pacific League. It's the current leaders against the defending champions. The Buffaloes are stumbling a little bit right now. They've got 15 wins on the season. They're 9.5 games back of the Eagles. In fourth place in the Pacific League. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Tatsumi goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it up to Jinjiro Sumitani. My friend Ryan has sent some money our way via PayPal. Well, we appreciate that, Ryan. You don't necessarily have to do that, but we do appreciate that, and we thank you for your kindness. We've got Jinjiro Sumitani stepping in. He is batting .242 with a homer and 5 RBIs. We'll go toward my iced tea fund. There's 2 things that we probably would want to get sponsors for here once in a time. One would be for iced tea, preferably Arizona. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is popped up behind second base. Moving back on it is the second baseman, Oda. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the second inning. So just a quick recap. There was 1 run in the inning. There was 2 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're through 1.5. It is 1-0 for the Eagles. The last piece to this is if we can get an iced tea sponsor one day, I would hope it would be Arizona. But we also need some throat lozenges, and that would be our Swiss friend, Ricola. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. And Eric Castley says, Arizona iced tea, we're looking at you. Absolutely. Gotta like that stuff. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment after this from our friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, Matt Hollis. Be sure to check out him and his stellar songs after the ball game. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call of the bottom of the second inning. We're glad you could be with us here for NPB Baseball Live. Hold tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the second inning. It is going to be Masataka Yoshida, Yuma Tonga and Yuma Mune, the 2 Yumas going back to back. And the first pitch delivered to Yoshida is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Yoshida is in his typical form. He's now hitting .327 on the season with 4 homers and 25 RBIs. And he swings at a breaking ball and fouls that one off. He loses his helmet in the process. It absolutely just jerked his helmet right off. And it was a weird one because it bounced, it double ricocheted off the home plate umpire, got him in the hand, and then got him in the face mask. So take that. Make sure you clean up your handwork over there. So here's no balls and 2 strikes to Yoshida. And there's a fastball delivered. This ball is lifted into shallow center field. Backing up on it is the shortstop, Kopakata. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Yoshida for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Yoma Tongu to the plate. Tongu's getting the start behind the plate. He is batting .239 with no homers and 4 runs batted in. The Buffaloes are going to be in tough tonight against this lefty. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Hikawa has a great ability to keep hitters off balance. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field. Moving back on the warning track is Tatsumi. He makes the catch. And Tongu is going to be retired for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second. That's going to leave it all up to Yuma Mune. Our St. Louis Cardinal fan, Ryan, says, I'm happy the Cardinals beat the Giants, but probably not so happy that Adam Wainwright goes on the disabled list. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down to Yuma Mune, and the count is 1-0. I saw Wainwright's name go across the wire. So 1 ball and no strikes to Mune. And there is a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats. And the count goes to 1-1. For Mune on the season, he's batting .207. He's got no homers and 4 RBIs. Mune bats from the left side against the lefty Hayakawa. Mune last year had a breakout season for the Buffaloes, and he takes a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. The count is 1-2. Mune has been all over the lineup this year. He was hitting a lot in the 2 spot last season. He's kind of yo-yoed up between 2 and 6 this year. 6 spot is where he hits from tonight. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And so here comes the 2-2 offering. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats just behind the third base dugout. Just as a reminder, we are going to be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night, as we are going to be calling these same 2 teams, same time, same place on your YouTube stream. So hopefully you can make it back in and join us. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind third base. Count remains at 2-2. We have posted our upcoming stream schedule, as we were going to be doing a number of games upcoming here over the next few days. We are going to add one on Sunday morning. We just haven't made that determination yet. There is a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count now runs full to Mune. We will be back on again tomorrow, as I said, with the same 2 teams. Sunday we'll add one in the morning. It'll be a 10 o'clock Pacific time or 1 o'clock Eastern time game. We haven't made the decision yet once we see the pitching matchups. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count now remains at 3-2. We are going to be calling the Blue Jays and the Yankees on May the 11th. That is going to be a early morning game or early morning start. On Tuesday the 10th, we're going to call the Oakland A's and the Tigers. That'll be the first game of a doubleheader slated for that day. There's a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. Mune watched that one go by, and he was rung up by the home plate umpire. He is gone for out number 3. So for the Buffaloes in their half of the second inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 2 complete. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We're glad you could be here with us tonight. Here is our friend Steve again.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in return, we like to support Steve Rademacher. We're ready to get back into the live action here as it is the top of the order coming up for the Eagles. It is going to be Nishikawa, Kobakata, and Asamura to get things going here in the top of the 3rd inning. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses inside to Nishikawa, and the count is 1-0. Yamazaki goes back to work quickly. He delivers a fastball, take it for a called strike. And the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nishikawa. Nishikawa is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. And the 1-1 pitch is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. Steve has got his pom-poms out tonight, cheering on the Golden Eagles. And here comes the 2-1 offering to Nishikawa. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. The lefty Yamazaki leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher Tongu. He works from the stretch position even with nobody on. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses up and in. The count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. After calling that Red Sox game the other day against the Angels, you can really appreciate how close the fans are in Major League Baseball. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit over the head of the leaping first baseman. It's going to be a fair ball. It's into the corner. Digging for 2 is Nishikawa, and he is going to get there standing up safely. So Nishikawa's got himself a leadoff double here in the top of the 3rd inning. And that is going to bring up the shortstop Hiroto Kobakata. It was over top of the leaping glove. The umpire was right in position to signal a fair ball. Ball was probably fair by about maybe 3 or 4 inches. It was a hook barrel down the right field line. Nishikawa is aboard with a double, and that brings up Hiroto Kobakata. Even though there is a runner on second, this is still potentially a bunt opportunity, and Kobakata does show to bunt, but he has to pull back. It is low and inside. Our friend Ryan says the Rays beat the Mariners tonight. I haven't looked at the MLB scoreboard other than the message I got that the Tigers lost. Our living room says it's rally cap time. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And again, Kobakata squares to bunt. This time he pulls back and he takes a called strike at the knees, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kobakata is a pretty good bunter. He is in the tool hole for a reason. And they do have the corners are in this situation here. Again, he squares to bunt. This time he does a good one. He gets it down the third base line. But Yumamune lets it roll foul as he touches it in foul territory, and that's going to make the count 1-2 strikes. And if I'm in this situation, I'd probably have Kobakata bunt again. He's not the best of hitters. He is hitting .241, which by his standards is probably maybe as good or maybe the best as he's going to be. But I would definitely have him probably be looking, even with 2 strikes, to lay one down again. So Ryan says he's on our eBay now. Thanks for checking that out. So here comes the 1-2 offering. Yamazaki delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kobakata slightly chokes up at the end of the bat. He's waiting on the offering from Yamazaki. Yamazaki holds at the chest. Nishikawa gets his lead. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's down for a base hit. Rounding third is the runner Nishikawa, and he's going to be held up at third. Kobakata with a great swing. It was a beautiful line drive right on one hop to the right fielder. But they didn't really want to challenge his arm, especially when you got the meat of the order coming up. It is going to be Asamura, Shimochi, and Marmoleos in the 3, 4, and 5 spots. So this has all the makings of a big inning here for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. The Eagles are in their maroon tops and white pants. They've got the Rakuten splashed right across the top and on the right sleeve as well. So Hideto Asamura steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to center his first time up. And here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that is check swing and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Asamura. Alexander Leggett is chanting the cauldron. So here comes the 0-1 pitch, and instead, Yamazaki steps off and flips it over to first base. Diving back in time is the base runner Kobakata. Kobakata is a threat to steal. He has 3 this year. He had 5 last season. And in his first year in the NPB, he had 17. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. Over to second for 1. Back to first. It is a double play. It's going to go down as a 6-4-3 double play. As Asamura has grounded into it, it is going to score a run. He does not pick up an RBI on that, as he was not awarded an RBI when he grounds into a double play, but that is going to increase the lead to 2-0. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Hiroki Shimochi. So Shimochi steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 0 as he walked and scored a run. He takes a first pitch fastball inside for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I'll tell you, the home plate umpire gave Yamazaki that called strike. Some of the other pitches he's had today looked way better than that. He never got the call. Here comes the 0-1. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. We'll get you updated on the out-of-town scoreboard here in just a bit. Half inning, we've got a full slate of action going on in the NPB tonight. The breaking ball that misses down, they appeal over to the third base umpire. They sense Shimochi didn't go, and that is going to keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shimouchi. Left-hander Yamazaki already up to 50 pitches here with 2 gone in the 3rd inning. He kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball swung on. It is softly lifted into left field. It's going to get down. It is in no man's land. They did have a shot to maybe get him at first base. As the pitcher was over covering, the first baseman, second baseman, and right fielder all converged. But the ball dropped and they were not able to pick it up as it had quite a bit of English on it. And Hiroki Shimouchi has got himself I'd call a cheap single, but a single nonetheless. As that ball did get down. And actually, as we look at it, Oda picked it up on the 1 bounce and he mishandled it. Had he been able to field it, they may have had a shot at Shimouchi at first base. But he is aboard with 2 outs, and that brings up Jose Marmoleos. For Marmoleos, he is 1 for 1 today. He singled and was stranded at 3rd in the 2nd inning. Left-hander versus the left-hander. Here's the first offering from Yamazaki. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The Golden Eagles have brought their hitting shoes with them tonight. Already got 5 hits in the ball game. Here comes the 1-0 to Marmoleos. It's a breaking ball that is down. The home plate umpire goes up with the right hand. Marmoleos couldn't hold himself up. You got to look at the replay on that one and probably have to agree with the home plate umpire. Marmoleos didn't seem to think so, but the replay tells us otherwise. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And the count is 1-2. Our friend Ryan says bad news, his leg surgery, or he's going to get surgery on his legs. His legs hurt. That's unfortunate. Alexander Leggett says Marmoleos is on fire tonight. He seems to be heating up more recently. He's really been picking his average up for sure. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that this is outside, and the count is 2-2. Sometimes I don't always get the benefit of the replays, but as I look at that last fastball, darn, that looked pretty good. I'm not sure why Yamazaki's not getting the love tonight from the home plate umpire. Usually the home team gets the love. Yamazaki not getting any love. There's the 2-2 pitch, and there is a fastball that misses down. A good block by the catcher, Tongu, who was able to keep it in front. Kept the runner from advancing to second base. So Shimouchi is the runner at first. There's 2 away. There's already 1 run on the board here in the 3rd inning. Yamazaki leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher, Tongu. And here comes the payoff pitch to Marmoleos. There goes the runner, and it's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to right field, and Ikeda holds his ground. He comes in. He makes the catch, and that is going to do it. Marmoleos hit that ball right on the screws, right to the glove of Marmoleos, and that is going to do it here in the 3rd inning for the Golden Eagles. The Eagles got 1. Yamazaki was fortunate. It could have been more. They had 1 run in the inning. There were 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 2.5. It is now the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this with the call of the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Once again, that's our friend Matt Hollish. Be sure to check him out after the game. We'll be back in just a moment. And we are ready. Actually, we're ready to get this one already. This is how quick the NPB goes. Usually we can run another tune or another thing, but we're ready to get back going here. It is the bottom half of the third inning. And Ryo Oda, Kotaro Kobayashi, and Ryoma Akita are coming up to bat. The first pitch to Oda is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Ready to go back to work and not messing around is Hayakawa, and he delivers a fastball that swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 to Oda. So no balls and 2 strikes. And so here comes the breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 1-2. Our friend Orion says there has been 5 likes now. Well, that's cool. You know, it always helps a little bit. I don't really get too excited about that. There is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Oda is retired on strikes for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away. Just happy that there's people in here that find as much enjoyment listening to the game on the NPB game as I do in calling it. Really happy that people are popping in and checking it out. We are glad that you are here. So that's going to bring up the shortstop Kotaro Kobayashi, and the first pitch delivered to him is a fastball that misses outside for ball 1, and the count's 1-0. Kobayashi has really dropped down to the batting order. He was hitting a lot of the season in the 3-hole. But when you're hitting 175 with a homer and 7 RBIs, that'll get you demoted pretty quickly. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Alexander Leggett says that number 31 hadn't been too impressive this season. There's a lot of guys in this lineup that has not been too impressive for the Buffaloes. They're not in their 2021 form. There's a breaking ball that is swung on. That ball was lifted into center field, and Kobayashi is going to be aboard with the first hit of the ball game for the Buffaloes. He's got himself a bloop single into center field. So Kobayashi is the runner at first, and it is going to bring up Ryoma Akita. He's been a busy right fielder tonight so far. Another one who is batting below the proverbial Mendoza line. He's batting $154 with no homers and 1 RBI. 2 for 13 on the season. There's a first pitch fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. A lot of ugly batting averages in this lineup tonight for the Buffaloes. They have 4 players batting below 200. Tack on another player batting at 207. There's a lot of work to do for the Buffaloes. So no balls and 1 strike to Akita. And Kawa holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 1-1. Not sure if it's the camera angle that we have here or if it's just the way that it features. But boy, it's the balls and strikes have been a little bit to be desired, at least at my end tonight. There's a fastball that swung on his pop foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. The count is 1-2. Our living room says, say cheese in the chat. Chat is not as chatty tonight as I anticipated. I thought we'd have a few more people in the house, but as we said, Friday night baseball or Saturday morning, depending on where you're at, it's always a good time for baseball. Here comes the 1-2 offering to Akita. Kawa holds at the belt. He checks the runner at first. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to reach the seats. It's going to keep the count at 1-2 as that ball is fouled off into the first base side. I started to say earlier, it's interesting when you're watching the games in the Japanese league. There's a lot of real estate between the fair territory and the stands. We did the game the other night, as we said, between the Angels and the Red Sox. How noticeable that the fans in Boston are right on top of the field. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow center field. Moving over underneath it is Tatsumi, is going to make the catch. That's going to retire Ikeda for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that brings the top of the order, Tomoya Noguchi, to the plate. For Noguchi, he is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He's hitting in the leadoff spot. He gets the start in center field tonight. His average has slipped to 296 on the season. He is 8 for 27. And here's the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Our friend in the living room says he's testing out his new GoPro. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 0-2. Alexander Leggett says the lack of fan real estate is how you get those highlight reels of so-called fan robberies for home runs. Yeah, it's amazing how close they are in Boston. It almost looks like there's a few stadiums that have they must have went to the Oakland Coliseum for their directions on how to build a baseball stadium. The Oakland Coliseum has got some really, really big foul territory ground to cover. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is still 0-2 to Noguchi. Think of how spacious some of the ballparks are. There's a fastball that misses on the outside corner. The catcher, Sumitani, doesn't like it, you can tell, because he held that pitch for quite a while. As we get the replay of it, he may have had a case. That's going to run the count now to 1-2 to Noguchi. The living room says he's got a Twitter video to follow. Kind of cool to see some of that. I have a GoPro, but I really don't use it. I don't really use it very much. Can't say that I've got the value out of it that I probably should have. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Noguchi. And here comes the offering from the left-hander. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. But I can say that I do get the value out of my iPad and my iPods and my iPhones, all the rest of that stuff. That has served me very well. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Noguchi digs in on the left side, waiting from the offering from Hayakawa. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded back up the middle. It hits off the pitcher's glove. It's fielded by the second baseman. But that is going to be an infield hit. It would have been better if Hayakawa would have just let that one get by him. That'll be a base hit for Noguchi. He's aboard with a 2-out single. It advances the runner Kobayashi over to second, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter Nishino. So Nishino steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He has flown to center field his first time up. There's 2 away here in the top of the third inning. Sorry, in the bottom of the third inning. It is the Buffaloes that are batting. Nishino's average has slipped to 237 on the season. He bats from the left side against the left-handed throwing Hayakawa. The Buffaloes have a threat going here with 2 away, and then the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. I could see both teams tonight being frustrated with this home plate umpire. Certainly I am. That pitch looked like it might have been inside based on what he'd been calling, but up goes the right hand. Alexander Leggett said he didn't know about that. It looked like an awkward bounce. Well, it was deflected off the glove of the pitcher. And it ended up almost taking the fielder. It looked like the fielder was going to his right. He had to come back to get it. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. Again, the body language of the catcher dictates something different. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nishino waiting on the delivery from the left-hander Hayakawa. He holds, he checks the runner, he kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses outside. Count goes to 2-1. It's always a bit difficult, especially because you can't assume that the pitcher is going to get to the ball. The second baseman was ranging to his right, and then as soon as it got deflected, he had to throw on the brakes and come back left. Fortunately, he wasn't able to make the play. That's just enough to be able to allow the speedy Noguchi to get to the base. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Kawa delivers. It's a fastball. This is swung on, and this is drilled foul down the right field line. Oh, boy, that was just a matter of inches. Vivid Life is back in the house, says he got busy at work. He loves his new job. Alexander Leggett's looking for a stampede here. The Buffaloes are threatening, but not so much right now. As we were starting to mention in the previous inning, we have posted up some of our stuff. We are going to call a couple of midweek games again in the NPB next week. There are some 10 o'clock starts. That'll be Tuesday and Wednesday Pacific time. If you are on the west coast of Canada or the United States, or I should say Wednesday and Thursday Pacific time. Maybe it was Tuesday, Wednesday. It would be the Tuesday and Wednesday. It would be for the Wednesday and Thursday games in the NPB. Fastball was swung on and fouled away off the mask of the catcher. It keeps the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the 2-2 to Nishino. Kawa checks the runner at second. Checks him again. Now he delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined to the second baseman, who leaps and makes a great catch. Fumiya Kurakawa got on his ladder and comes down with the ball. A great play. Otherwise, that would have been trouble. And that is going to preserve the 2-0 lead here for the Buffaloes. And all Nishino can do is talk to himself as he walks back to the dugout. So for the Buffaloes in their half of the third inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. You're now through 3 complete. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2. The Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. We're glad you're with us. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 4th inning, and we're glad you guys could be in here to listen with us tonight. We were just going over some of the games that we're going to be doing coming up here in the next little bit. We'll be back on the airwaves again on YouTube tomorrow night when we do the same 2 teams. It'll be the same start time, so hopefully you guys can come back and join us then. We're back to the live action. It's going to be Suzuki, Kurakawa, and Tatsumi to face the left-hander Yamazaki. The first pitch that was delivered to Suzuki was a breaking ball down for ball 1, and the count's 1-0. There is a fastball that misses on the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-0. Suzuki tonight does not have an official at bat as he had a sac fly and drove in a run his first time. He's got 1 RBI in the game, and here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-0. One would have to think the way that Yamazaki is pitching tonight, he is not going to be around this game very long. I'd be shocked if he got through the 6th inning at this point. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 3-1. So tomorrow night, the same 2 teams. Then on Tuesday, we're going to do the first game of the Tiger-Oakland doubleheader. So hopefully you can join us for that one. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and Yamazaki has come all the way back to go to 3-2 to the hitter Suzuki. On Wednesday, we'll call the Blue Jays and the Yankees. That game is from New York. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called third strike. And Suzuki stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched that go by for out number 1 here in the 4th inning. That is going to bring up the second baseman, Fumiya Kurakawa. The other programming notes will be the Wednesday evening or Tuesday and Wednesday evening. We are going to be doing the NPB games. So hopefully you can join us for those. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Kurakawa. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kurakawa is 1 for 1 tonight. He doubled his first time up. There's a breaking ball that misses down, but that ball was dropped by the catcher, Tongu. I think that pitch looked pretty good. Had he squeezed it, maybe that would have been a strike. So here comes the 1-1 offering. Yamazaki delivers it as a fastball swung on and grounded foul. Some good hands by the first base coach who makes the play on that one. That's going to run the count to 1-2. We're also going to call an MLB game on Thursday. It'll be the Tigers and Athletics again. So that's kind of our slate for the next week ahead. As we said, we'll add one more in on Sunday. We wanted to do the game today between the Dodgers and the Cubs, but that got rained out. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is slapped through the 6-hole into left field. And Kurakawa has his second hit of the ball game, as he is aboard with a single, and that's going to bring up Ryosuke Tatsumi. So a good piece of hitting there by Kurakawa. He was able to shorten up and stay inside the ball and take it the other way through the 6-hole. Good piece of hitting by the left-handed stick. So Ryosuke Tatsumi steps up. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. He swings at a breaking ball. He lifts this one into deep left field. Moving back underneath it is the left fielder, Yoshida. He makes the catch. Just like that, there is now 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to the catcher, Junjiro Sumitani. One would have to think that the manager for the Eagles is going to look at this game and think that there's been some wasted opportunities by his group in the early going here. It's a 2-0 ball game, but he would think that they've wasted and squandered some chances, especially in the last inning where they got the 2 hitters on and they grounded into a double play. There's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away by Sumitani, and the count's 0-1. In the second inning, they stranded runners at second and third after they had 1 out. They were unable to cash them in. So just a couple of hits here and there could have a bigger spread in this game early on. So no balls and 1 strike to Sumitani. Yamazaki holds at the chest. He checks the runner Kurakawa at first, and he delivers a breaking ball that swung on and missed. It's going to run the count to 0-2. Alexander Leggett said they really could have done something there. Yeah, there's opportunities here. They could have pounded out a few more runs in that last inning. They may be lamenting that a little bit later on in the game here. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Sumitani. Yamazaki kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. Our friend in the living room was probably watching the hockey game tonight as the Toronto Maple Leafs knocked off the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa. I know he is a hockey fan, as there are some in the chat that like it as well. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Yamazaki delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down. Nice stop by the catcher, Tongu. That's going to even the count at 2-2 strikes. I was thinking about Tampa. I've actually seen the Leafs play in Tampa a few years ago. If you ever get a chance to go down to that Amalie Arena in Tampa Bay, it's a great venue for a hockey game. So 2-2 strikes. And here comes the delivery. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Moving over is the center fielder, Naguchi. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the fourth inning. There was no runs on one hit. There was no errors and one runner left aboard. We're now through 3.5. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. The call of the bottom of the fourth inning. We're glad you're with us.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up for the Buffaloes. Kaina Nakagawa, Masataka Yoshida, and Yuma Tongu are coming up for the Buffaloes here in their half of the fourth inning. Our friend Alexander Leggett says the Eagles are just going to dominate this one, aren't they? Well, the Eagles right now, they just needed a couple more hits to be able to get themselves separated. It may turn into a battle of the bullpens if this game stays close. Nakagawa steps up to the plate. He's batting $133. He's 2 for 15 on the season. He takes a first pitch breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakagawa. Nakagawa really works quickly as he delivers a breaking ball, and that is falls inside. The count now goes to 0-2. Steve Rademacher in the house tonight. We appreciate him and his support of the channel. Steve is, as we said, he's a single man out there, ladies. If you're interested, be sure to reach out to him on his channel. He's got a harem of ladies who follow him. There's a breaking ball down in the dirt. Count goes to 1-2. And some of them even speak English, so that's a good thing. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the offering from Hayakawa. It is a fastball swung on and fouled off into the shin guard of Nakagawa. It was a very long swing. He screwed himself into the ground a little bit there. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Nakagawa getting the nod at first base tonight. As we said, there's some pretty ugly batting averages in this Buffaloes lineup. There is a fastball that is belted foul. Ball is going to get into the temporary seating. I didn't see that coming. Nakagawa had no swings that looked like They were going to do anything in this at bat, and all of a sudden, that ball was absolutely tomahawked down the left field line, but hooked into the temporary seating. So 1-2 strikes to Nakagawa. There is a breaking ball that is delivered. This ball is lifted into right center field. It's going to get down. It's cut off by Tatsumi. He fields it. He fires it in. And cruising into second base with a double is Nakagawa, as he's got a leadoff double here to begin the fourth inning. You can just see the way that this game is going. If you are a Eagles fan, you're probably looking for the Maylocks right now, because it is not looking, even though you got a 2-0 lead, it just doesn't feel like you got a lead. Vivid Life says he's bet the house on the Eagles tonight. Well, with one swing of the bat here, we could be all knotted up at 2s. And the guy to do it is Masataka Yoshida. So here comes the first pitch to Yoshida. Kawachuk's the runner at second. And now he steps off, and he's got to reset himself. Yoshida tonight is 0 for 1. He popped to short his first time up. Yoshida has 25 runs batted in on the season. He's looking like his former self of the last few years. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field. Moving over to it is the center fielder, Tatsumi. He cuts in front of the left fielder to make the catch, and he fires it in, and that is going to be a flyout to 8. When I watched that play, it kind of almost reminded me of the play a couple years ago when the center fielder, Kiermaier, cut off, I believe it was Randy Arozarena in left field. He cut in front of him to make the catch. Well, it was kind of a little bit like that there too, although I have to say that Tatsumi was moving in the direction toward third base. Was probably an easier play for him in some regards because his momentum was taking him to third. However, that being said, it was definitely a odd play because it looked like he cut the left fielder off. There's a first pitch delivered to Yuma Tongo. That's a fastball inside for ball 1. The count's 1-0. So Tongu is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to center his first time up. He's got the nod behind the plate for the Buffaloes. He bats from the right side against the left-handed slants of Hayakawa. And here comes the 1-0 offering. And instead they throw over to second base. And getting back in time is the base runner. So they had a play on over there, but nothing doing for Nakagawa. It's the second time they've kind of looked that way. So 1-0 strikes. And here comes the 1-0 offering. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 strikes. So 2 strikes to Tongu. He's got a very interesting way that he goes about holding his bat. He separates the hands at first, and then he brings them together. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball. This ball is belted to deep left field. It's over the head of the left fielder, Shimauchi. It's up against the wall, and that is going to score the first run of the ball game for the Buffaloes, as Tongu has smoked a double and knocks in a run, and we are now cut the lead in half to 2-1. So an RBI double for Tongu scores Nakagawa, and that is going to bring up Yuma Mune. I said it was the left fielder Shimauchi. Shimauchi's actually in right field tonight. It is Nishikawa who was holding down the fort in left field. That ball was absolutely scorched. It's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. As I said, it's one of those feelings that the Eagles must feel that They've been all Eagles tonight offensively, and yet here they only have a 2-1 lead. So Yuma Mune steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out looking his first time up. And here comes the first pitch from the lefty Hayakawa. There's a fastball that misses outside. And the count is 1-0. Wonder how much life either of these two pitchers are going to have after the 6th inning. I've already put my stamp on the table that I don't think Yamazaki sees the 7th. And I would almost say the same thing about the lefty Hayakawa here. There's the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that is down. Nice block by the catcher, Sumatani. He races out in front to pick it up, but the runner at second, Tongu, is not going anywhere. So 2 balls and no strikes. They do have the open base at first base, which would potentially set up a force play. But the way Mune has been swinging the bat this year, I think we go right after him if you're an Eagles supporter. So 2 balls and no strikes. And here comes the offering. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is now 2-1. Alexander Leggett laughing a little bit. That ball that Tongu hit there was absolutely scorched. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Hayakawa kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. It's chopped up the middle. And that is a stop by the second baseman. That probably is going to save a run. Mune's got himself a single. Nice play there by the second baseman, Kurakawa, who went up the middle and dove to stop the ball. I think if that ball gets through, Tongu's got a very good opportunity in which to score. We'll see if that is a game changer here in a moment. If that ends up being a double play here with Oda coming to bat, we can point it down as saying, what a great defensive play by the second baseman, Kurakawa. So Mune's aboard with a single. It's the 3rd hit of the inning so far for the Buffaloes. And Oda is stepping to the plate. Friend Alexander says Tongu's missing so many chances tonight. Yeah, Tongu is not exactly the most fleet of foot. It's probably the right situation for him there. I mean, that ball that he scorched over the head of the left fielder, for some guys, that could have been a triple. It was a first pitch, a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away by Oda, and the count is 1-0. Oda tonight, 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He began the night hitting 156. That's taken a dent in it. Where they're at in the batting order, you'd have to keep an eye on a shenanigan type thing here. Are they going to send Mune? There's a fastball that is swung on. This is grounded to third. They're going to come home with it. Tongu is in a rundown, and this is a poorly executed rundown. Tongu is trying to stay in it. They've called him out for being out of the baseline, but he did stay in it long enough for Yuma Mune to get all the way around to third. Oda is able to get all the way around to second on the fielder's choice. And that will retire Tongu. So we watch it again. Poor piece of base running by Tongu as a ground ball right to the third baseman. He fires it home to the catcher. So it goes 5-2, 5-2 on the putout. It was not a well-executed rundown. But that is going to retire Tongu for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Kotaro Kobayashi. Our friend Makaku Grakovo says, will there be 7 runs total? I think so, that we might even get it in this inning here. The way things are shaping up. Here comes the first offering to Kobayashi. It's a fastball that misses up and away. The count is 1-0. So Alexander Leggett says it's lame. Yeah, it was a poor piece of base running really by the runner Tongu there. You got to make sure it gets through the 6 hole. But on the flip side of the coin, maybe if he doesn't run, it's a 5-4-3 double play. I don't know how they would have approached that. And there's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So I'd have to go back and look at that replay again. Would they have had a shot at a 5-4-3 double play? I don't think so, because it was not a hard hit ball. It was a bit of a long hop to the third baseman. Togu, though, did a good job of staying in the rundown to allow the runners to get to the into scoring position. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Moving back underneath it is Shimochi. He's going to make the grab. And that is going to end it right there. That is going to retire Kobayashi for the third out of the inning. So for the Buffaloes in their half of the fourth, they got 1 run on 3 hits. There was no errors and 2 left aboard. After 4 complete, it is now 2-1 for the Eagles. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back after this. And speaking of new songs, here's another one. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 5th inning. It's going to be the top of the batting order coming up for the Eagles. That means it's going to be Nishikawa, Kobakata, and Asamura to face the left-hander Yamazaki. It is a 2-1 ball game here. And here's the first offering to Nishikawa. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Nishikawa had squared a bunt, looked like he wanted to try to take it down the first base line. He pulled back, but it was taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Alexander Leggett asks, what's the name of the new song you've added, by the way? I have to go and look that up for you. I'm not 100% sure what it is there, Alexander. It is one of the YouTube stock songs, more recent ones. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count's 1-1. I usually pick them off of YouTube so that we don't get into any trouble. It is one of their free songs that are done there. And I forget the artist on that one. There's a fastball that is taken low and away, and the count is 2-1. Alexander says they're trying to bunt here for a base hit. Yeah. I guess one thing we don't get is where the position of the fielders are. And certainly if you can drop one down and try to leg it out. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count's now 3-1. The pitcher Yamazaki does a pretty good job of staying in line to his target. He doesn't fall off to the third base side. Sometimes you'll see that with pitchers where they're falling off to one side. They fall off to the one side. They're able to bunt, maybe force them to have to get off the mound a little quicker. And there's a fastball that misses in for ball 4. Nishikawa is aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. Looks like that the pitching coach is on the phone to the bullpen. They're on high alert. That is the 78th pitch of the ball game that has been thrown by the left-hander. As I said, I didn't think that Yamazaki would be around to see the 7th. In fact, I'm not even sure if he was going to be around to see the 6th. So this is Hiroto Kobakata who steps up to the plate. The first pitch is thrown over to first, and diving back in time is Nishikawa. Kobakata is pretty much, in my opinion, a lock to bunt in this situation. Living Room says, say cheese, Fred, you're on Twitter. And there's a ball that is bunted. It is picked up by the third baseman. They fire over to first. And that is going to be a sacrifice. It's going to go down as a 1-3 putout. It's going to advance Nishikawa over to second. And that is one away. So Living Room says we are on Twitter. That's awesome. We do actually have a Twitter account. And we do have a Twitter feed. I guess you could do even the feed here. I've got it all set up to do it. I'm not sure I'm going to do it through Twitter. I've got enough of a challenge on Twitch and here. YouTube channel as well. There's a first pitch fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. But I will look into the Twitter feed at some point. So Hideo Asamura, who's at the plate here, is 0 for 2 today. He has flown to center, and he is grounded into a double play. The runner at second is Nishikawa, and here comes the 1-0 offering. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count's now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Twitter is just at Last Wraps. So here comes the 1-1 delivery, and that is a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And Asamura waiting on the offering here from Yamazaki. It is a breaking ball that's outside. They appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say Asamura didn't go, and that's going to run the count now to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Asamura waiting on the offering from the left-hander Yamazaki. And he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now ball 4. The catcher, Tongu, sure didn't like it. And the questionable strike zone from the home plate umpire tonight continues. And that is going to be a base on balls for Asamura. It's going to bring up the right fielder, Shimouchi. It's also going to bring the catcher, Tongu, out to the mound to have a word with his pitcher, as they can stall for a little bit of time to potentially be able to get some more pitches for their bullpen. So the runner at second is Nishikawa. The runner at first is Asamura. Shimouchi is stepping up to the plate. He's been on base twice tonight. He walked and scored a run in the second inning. He singled and was stranded there at first base in the third inning. And here comes the first pitch from Yamazaki. It's a breaking ball down. They appeal to the third base umpire, but they say Shimouchi didn't go, and the count's 1-0. Shimouchi has pulled his average up to 259 on the season. He has not shown the power that he's had in recent years yet. He's still only got 1 home run. As the weather is starting to heat up, so is Shimouchi. Here's the 1-0, and there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It's fascinating to see how the pitchers really load up the ball with the rosin. And that's exactly what Yamazaki has done. He's got so much rosin on his hand. When the pitch comes out of his hand, it'll be like a puff of white smoke. Here's the 1-1. And there is a fastball that is driven foul into the seats down the third base line, and the count is 1-2. Can you imagine Major League Baseball looking at the hand of the pitcher when they come off the mound? What was Dan Bellino doing the other day to Madison Bumgarner? That was unbelievable. Thought he was reading his palm. Absolutely crazy. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yamazaki checks the runner at second. He delivers. There is a fastball. It's grounded back to the mound. Over to second for 1. Back to first. It is a double play for the Buffaloes. And that is going to end the inning. So another inning of squandered opportunities. Goes down as a 1-6-3 double play to end the inning. And that is going to do it for the Eagles in their half of the 5th. There was no runs. There was 1 hit. No errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 4.5. It is the Buffaloes trailing the Eagles 2-1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments with the call at the bottom of the 5th inning.
Everybody, thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. It's today's Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, Dave, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Dave at Zero Fox Sports. Be sure after the game to go check him out. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you. We do have coming up here in the inning for the Orix Buffaloes. It's going to be the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order. It'll be Ryoma Akita, Tomoya Naguchi, and Masahiro Nishino. 9-1-2 in the order. And it is Akita who will lead it off. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He has flown to right field his first time up. The left-hander Hayakawa ready to go back into work, and he delivers a first pitch fastball, taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. As I said, I'd be very amazed if either of these pitchers saw the 7th inning. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is tap foul right behind home plate. The count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Both of these pitchers, their counts are ratcheting up. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. And it is a fastball from Hayakawa that is missing upstairs. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Left-hander. Hayakawa goes back into the motion. He delivers a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count's 2-2. Hayakawa is a young lefty. He was a draft pick in the 2020 draft. He was number 1 overall by the Golden Eagles. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 2-2, or remains at 2-2. Made his NPB debut last year for the Golden Eagles. He was 9-7. He had 1 complete game and 1 shutout. He worked 137 2/3 innings. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away down the third baseline. The count remains at 2-2. He had a 3.86 ERA over those innings of work. He allowed 132 hits. He'd only walked 30, but he struck out 127. He is a little bit more refined this year, and there's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul behind home plate, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the delivery from the lefty. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Akita goes down for the first time tonight on strikes, as he has been retired for out number 1 here in the 5th inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Tomoya Noguchi. On the ball game, that's only the 4th strikeout tonight for Hayakawa. He is not a overpowering lefty by any stretch, but he certainly is able to mix his pitches very well to keep hitters off balance. So Noguchi steps to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Noguchi singled his last time up, and he struck out in the 1st inning. He is 9 for 28 on the season. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven to deep left field. Nishikawa racing back. He makes the grab over the shoulder as he catches it as he's just about to get onto the warning track. And that is going to do it for Noguchi. He is gone for out number 2. He took it for a ride, but just not far enough. That will leave it up to the designated hitter, Nishino. So for Nishino, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown to center and lined out to the second baseman. He takes the first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Hayakawa looks in, and he gets the sign from his catcher, Sumatani, and here he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. That last pitch looked like it was a positional player coming in to pitch the 8th or the 9th inning in a blowout. The ball was like a teardrop. It came in and just floated right in across the dish. So no balls and 2 strikes. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. The lefty Hayakawa ready to go back to work. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hayakawa ready to go back to work again and delivers a fastball that just misses outside. The count goes to 2-2. As I watch this game, I'm not sure I know what strikes are. I'm not sure what balls are from this umpire. As we said, he is very, very erratic tonight. There is a breaking ball that is swung on and lifted foul over on the seats behind third base. Keeps the count at 2-2. It's a problem, or at least I think it's a problem, when you don't know what's looking at, but also when the players don't know what it is. The body language tonight from the players has been up and down. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Check that, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nishino. Hayakawa looks in, he gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2. One thing that is prevalent to me in the NPB is it is a fastball breaking ball league. What you do see, obviously, sometimes are the split finger pitches from some of the pitchers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and Hayakawa holds his pose. That's going to run the count to 3-2. You don't see a lot of changeups thrown in the Japanese league, and to me, that's the most important pitch. You're going to have a fastball and a changeup to keep your hitters off balance. And here comes the 3-2 pitch, and Nishino stood there like the house by the side of the road and took that for called third strike. You can't believe it as he walks back to the dugout, and we can't believe it either because some of the other pitches in that bat looked way better than that one. Nishino, you should have been out on about the 4th pitch, but instead you're called out looking on that one. There was no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're in the proverbial Japanese halftime. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, and we'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard after this. Glad you're with us.
Hey guys, and thank you, Freddie. Steve coming back at you. That's right, Steve Rademacher. I would like to thank each and every one of you that is tuned into my channel. And today, let's do a little shout out for some other great channels you should be watching. There is WVogs 18. There's Big D's Sports and Collectibles. You all know another Hollis build. Why not Like Father, Like Son? That's a great duo that does some great stuff. It shows some great cards. And of course, the one and only Bud Stoney, creators of One of Ones, the creator of One of Ones, and they're all signed on the back. Bud Stoney, One of One, like this beautiful Robin Yount that he made for me. He made me another Robin Yount, this time mini, and a Christian Yelich mini. Great cards, and he does more than cards. We have darts of Hulk Hogan and many other things. So give them a look-see and give me another look-see. Subscribers are always welcome, and back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We are in the proverbial Japanese halftime. The cheerleaders are out. They're making their noise and their stuff felt, but boy, there's not a lot of people in the crowd here tonight in Osaka. We are going to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll first begin with the Central League. It is in the bottom of the fifth inning. The Tokyo Yakult Swallows have a 6-2 lead over the Yomiuri Giants. Battle of Tokyo right now is swinging in the Swallows' favor. In the bottom of the sixth inning, the Chinichi Dragons have a 2-1 lead over the Hanshin Tigers. In the bottom of the sixth inning in Hiroshima, the Yokohama Bay Stars are clinging to a 1-0 lead there. Over here in the Pacific League, it is the Saitama Cebu Lions 2, the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters 1. It's in the top of the sixth inning. And the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are laying it to the Chiba Lotte Marines tonight, 6-0. It's in the bottom of the fifth. This game here is in the top of the sixth inning. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have a 2-1 lead over the Orix Buffaloes, and it sure isn't one of those things that I would say is a safe lead by any stretch for Tohoku. That is where we stand here. We're going to take a moment here. We'll be back in just a moment. The call of the sixth inning, but as we said, it is the always popular Japanese halftime. We'll be back in just a little bit. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher again. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. I got to get another drink iced tea. Where's Arizona when we need one?
Hey guys, and thank you, Freddie. Steve coming back at you. That's right, Steve Rademacher. I would like to thank each and every one of you that is tuned into my channel. And today, let's do a little shout out for some other great channels you should be watching. There is WVogs 18. There's Big D's Sports and Collectibles. You all know another Hollis build. Why not Like Father, Like Son? That's a great duo that does some great stuff. It shows some great cards. And of course, the one and only Bud Stoney, creators of One of Ones, the creator of One of Ones, and they're all signed on the back. Bud Stoney, One of One, like this beautiful Robin Yount that he made for me. He made me another Robin Yount, this time mini, and a Christian Yelich mini. Great cards, and he does more than cards. We have darts of Hulk Hogan and many other things. So give them a look-see and give me another look-see. Subscribers are always welcome, and back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. And Yamazaki's coming out for his 6th inning of work. And it is that when the living room says, when he stood there like the house by the side of the road to watch it go by on a called third strike. That's what he usually types in there in the acronym. He knows that the guy stood there looking. So pretty cool. So here we go back to the live action, and it is Jose Marmoleos to get things going. He takes a first pitch breaking ball up and away for ball one. It's Marmoleos, Suzuki, and Kurakawa. And there is a fastball delivered to Marmoleos. This ball is driven into left field. It's a zoo route to the ball by the right fielder. It's over his head and off the wall. And sliding into second safely is Marmoleos, as he's got himself a leadoff double here in the 6th inning. The right fielder for the Buffaloes, it was Ryoma Akita. He got himself all turned around. I haven't seen a route like that since Randall Grichuk was playing center field for the Blue Jays. Anyways, the ball was over his head and it one-hopped the wall. Marmoleos has slid into second with a double, and that's going to bring up Daichi Suzuki. For Suzuki, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He has struck out looking, and he's hit a sacrifice fly to right field. He's got 1 RBI this evening. So he asks for time and acknowledges the pitcher in doing so. His average has slipped to 207 on the season. Here comes the first offering to Suzuki. It's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Suzuki. Looks like the living room has got himself some stuff going on there. Marvel Studios, he's got something happening. We see that he's got something up on Twitter. We appreciate that. And he's tagged us up in doing it. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Last Raps Baseball, a living room production. Seems like it. So 1 ball and 1 strike. You can see the living room has got the game going on in the bottom right corner as well. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. We appreciate you for doing that and giving us your support. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The second baseman, Fumiya Kurakawa, waits on deck. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul over by the third base line. Keeps the count at 1-2. Living room says, how's my knockoff GoPro look? Yeah, the camera itself, or the video itself, is actually not that bad. I'll have to take a peek at it once we are probably done the ball game, because then I can put up the volume. I've got no volume on it right now. So here comes the 1-2 offering to Suzuki. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yamazaki is now up to 95 pitches in the ball game. As I said, I don't think he is going to sniff the 7th inning at this rate. It'll be a battle of the bullpens. And so here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Suzuki. And he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Suzuki is gone for out number 1. It looked like he swung at ball 4 on that one. He is retired for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Fumiya Kurakawa. For Kurakawa tonight, he is living on the base paths. He's got a double and a single. He's 2 for 2. In this one, Living Room says, did you notice the Super Sentai reference on one of the TVs? Actually, no, I didn't. I have to go back and look at that again. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to first. Off the line to field it is the first baseman, Nakagawa. He flips it to the pitcher covering. And that is going to retire Kurikawa on a ground out, 3-1 for out number 2. It's going to advance Marmoleos over to third, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Tatsumi. The only thing that I don't think anybody's going to get in trouble for it, but certainly any type of broadcast of the game, I don't think there's enough there that would get you into trouble, but Twitter, all eyes might be on you. Pacific League, Central League, whatever that might be. But I think what you've shown there, I don't think is going to get you into any hot water. You barely see it. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away to Tatsumi, and the count's 1-0. So Marmoleos is the runner on third here with 2 gone in the 6th inning. Suzuki there and his strikeout, if he was able to advance the runner, they may have been able to push that runner, Marmoleos, across. The way it's shaping up here, Tatsumi better get himself a hit, or it is going to be still 2-1. There's a fastball that misses inside. Counts 2-0. Living Room says, nice setup with the 3 TVs, though. Yeah, that I got to give you props for. I thought my setup is pretty good, but yours is probably at another level. I've got my 60-incher in front of me, and then I got the laptop, the tablet. We got it all going on here. Desktop, you name it. So much hydro happening here. It's probably, if we had a power outage, it would probably be because of me. There's a breaking ball to Tatsumi that misses. It's 3-0 to Tatsumi. Yamazaki now getting the sign from his catcher. He comes set at the chest, and he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and that's going to be ball 4. Tatsumi has drawn himself a walk, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Sumitani. One would have to think that this might be the last batter that Yamazaki is going to face, but you never know. Runners are on the corners. He's at 102 pitches now. Yeah, the Marvel name would be Power Man. We're sucking all the energy right now. Got to make sure that the hydro company out here is happy with what we're doing. So Sumitani at the plate. He is 0 for 2. He has popped to second and flown out to center. Runners are on the corners. Marmoleos is on third. Tatsumi is at first. Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go to work. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Sumitani. Sumitani is a former Yomiuri Giant. He was able to come to the Golden Eagles last year via a trade. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count's now 2-0. This is his 2nd season with the Golden Eagles. He had a very lengthy career with the Saitama Cebu Lions. And he made his way to the Giants for 2.5 seasons, and now he is in his 2nd season with Tohoku. Comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. Sumitani and his NPB career all the way back to 2006. He's appeared in 1,402 NPB games. The bulk of his career playing-wise, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Akita picks it up. He comes up throwing. They're going to hold the runner at second base. It is a 3-1 Golden Eagles lead. Simitani has himself an RBI single, and that is going to cash in Marmoleos, and it is going to bring Tatsumi over to second. And now it finally brings out the pitching coach, which in my estimation, the question would be, what took you so long? There's a conference of Buffaloes on the mound as the entire infield is in there. They're having a confab with the lefty Yamazaki. And that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Haruki Nishikawa. Just saying about Simitani, who has played probably the best years of his career, came between 2011 and 2016 when he was the regular catcher for the Lions. He's now in the twilight of his career. 35 years old in July. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nishikawa. Nishikawa today is 1 for 2. He doubled and scored a run in the third. He walked in the fifth, and he grounded out in the first. So 1 for 2 today. So here comes the one strike pitch. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. As we said, that's another one of those pitches as we get to see that again. Boy, oh boy, that pitch looked way too good. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nishikawa. The runner at second is Tatsumi. The runner at first is Simitani. And here comes the 1-1 delivery. Yamazaki kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Nishikawa spun himself right around, and it is now 1-2. Some of the misses on the breaking balls here, he just made him look sick at the plate. We got our friend Joe in the house, who stops by for a little bit of love. We appreciate you there, Joe, as always. And we care about you. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. There is a fastball that misses outside. And the count now goes to 2-2 to Nishikawa. That pitch there for sure. They wanted that pitch. That pitch wasn't as good as some of the other ones. You could just see the body language of the pitcher and the catcher. Absolutely disgusted. But that pitch there, I would have said, was not a strike. Some of the other ones for sure could have been. Here comes the 2-2. Yamazaki delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded softly to first. It's fielded neatly by Nakagawa. He steps on the bag, and that is going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the 6th inning. But they get some run. They got a run in the inning. They had the leadoff double by Marmoleos, who came around and scored on the RBI single by Simitani. There was 1 run in the inning on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 3-1 ball game for the Golden Eagles. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments after this with the call of the bottom of the 6th inning. We're glad you guys could be here. It is Osaka baseball at its finest.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the sixth inning. It's going to be Kaida Nakagawa, Masataka Yoshida, and Yoma Tangu. They are going to be facing the left-hander Takeshi Hayakawa, who is on for his sixth inning of work. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. For Nakagawa tonight, he is 1 for 2. He doubled and scored a run his last time up. He's also grounded short. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field. Moving back on it is Tatsumi. He backpedals now and makes the catch. And that is going to be 1 up and 1 away here in the bottom of the sixth inning. It's going to bring up the left fielder Masataka Yoshida. For Yoshida tonight, he is 0 for 2. He has flown to pop to the shortstop and flown to center field. His average has dropped off a little bit. He began the night at 327. His average has slipped to 321. So here comes the first pitch from Hayakawa. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. As I said, I've got to really wait sometimes with this home plate umpire. If they do in Japan like they do in the major leagues, where they are able to see what the umpire has called for balls and strikes, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. And to be able to get an evaluation, I'm not sure if this guy is getting the favorable one tonight. These pitchers have been around the zone, and there are times like that last pitch, there's a breaking ball that misses down, I suppose. The count now is 2 balls and 1 strike. Sometimes you'll see umpires will call the glove. Sometimes umpires call it where it crosses. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And there is a fastball that is swung on. This ball is driven through the 6th hole into left field. And Yoshida is aboard with a 1-out single here in the 6th inning. That's going to bring up Yuma Tango to the plate. So Tangu is 1 for 2 tonight. He doubled home a run his last time up. He was also thrown out on some adventurous base running. Got himself hung up in a rundown between third and home. He's also flown out to center field. The ball he hit his last time up was absolutely scorched. It was a P-rod right over the head of the left fielder. And he is swinging a hot stick as of late. So here comes the first pitch to Tangu. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Tangu has raised his average up on the season to 250. He is 12 for 48 now on campaign. So here comes the 0-1 offering. Kawa delivers. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Tangu digs in. He's waiting on the offering from the left-hander Hayakawa. He kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2. That last pitch there was definitely ball 2, as he swung at that pitch in the dirt. Alexander Leggett back in the house announces his return. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tangu waiting on the offering from the left-hander Hayakawa, who holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The third baseman, Yumamune, is looming on deck, waiting his turn. This is going to be the 98th pitch of the ball game for Hayakawa. So here comes the 2-2. He holds at the belt, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded foul just past the third base coach's box, and the count remains at 2-2. just taking a look at some of that out-of-town scoreboard. We'll come back and revisit that a little bit. There's been some scoring going on around the league, especially in the Pacific League. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Get you up to date in between batters. There's a fastball swung on. It's driven down the right field line, but it's going to bounce foul. The ball boy had to clear out there as it was going right for him. So that's going to keep the count at 2-2 to Tongu. The Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters have now taken the lead on the Saitama Cebu Lions 3-2. That's in the top of the 6th. And they're still batting and threatening as they got runners on the corners. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hayakawa checks the runner. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's hammered foul down the third base line. Got to tell you, the way that Hayakawa is pitching right now and the way that these guys are timing him up, you better have your hand on the bullpen phone. That was the 100th pitch of the ball game. So Tongu is right. He's squaring him up. He's just fouling him off. Say he's squaring up. He's hitting the ball hard. Maybe that's a better way to put it. I don't know if he's squaring him up. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on, again hammered foul down the left field line. He's absolutely scorching the ball. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are still holding on to a 6-0 lead over Chiba. Chiba's only got 2 hits in that ball game tonight. Their offense is at times non-existent. This would be another one of those ones. All the other games, there's not been a lot of movement in the other than that Hiroshima has now tied the game in the bottom of the 7th. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Backing up on it is the left fielder Nishikawa. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Tongu for out number 2 here in the 6th inning. It's going to leave it all up to Yumamune. Boy, did Tongu ever hit some balls hard foul in that at bat. The Carp are still threatening. They've got 2 on with 2 out there in the 7th. This game here, even though the Eagles have a lead, it just doesn't feel like a safe league for Tohoku. So here comes the first offering to Mune. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Mune tonight is 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out. Living Room says, dead air sucks, but it's tough to call a game by yourself. Yeah, it does. Every once in a while, you got to hopefully try to be able to do some of that stuff. You don't have any color person beside you. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, you've got to fill in the air on both ends. You got to be the play-by-play, the color guy, and even the in-between inning guy. I mean, last year when we started doing it, I didn't have any of the infomercials really, and we started to add them as we moved along. There's a fastball that are swung on and fouled away, and the count's 1-2. I call them infomercials because they're not paid commercials. The guys have done it for me out of the kindness of their hearts. Alexander Leggett says, really hoping for that Buffalo comeback. Sadly, I think the Eagles will somehow stay on. Kevin Barnett asks, will the Eagles score another run? I think so. I think they've got more in them. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to second. It's fielded neatly by the second baseman, Kurakawa. He throws to first. And Mune is gone for out number 3. That goes as a ground out 4-3. And so for the Buffaloes in their half of the 6th inning, they got no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 6 complete. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3, the Orix Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call Of the top of the 7th inning, here is our friend Steve again.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve. We'll be back in just a moment. We are assuming we're going to see some pitching changes. I'll get you those when we get back in a moment. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change for the Orix Buffaloes. Number 56, Atsuya Ogita, is now in the ball game. And so here we go. He is ready to go to work. He is a right-hander replacing the left-hander Yamazaki. And the first hitter to face him is Hiroto Kobakata, who takes a breaking ball outside for ball one. It'll be Kobakata, Asamura, and Shimochi. 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the batting order as the day for Sachiya Yamazaki is done. And here is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1 to Kobakata. Kobakata today is officially 1 for 2. He's got a single, a ground out, and a sacrifice bunt. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and in. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Ogita rocks into the motion. He is ready to kick and deliver. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is going to get down right to the left fielder, Yoshida. And that is a base hit here for Kobakata to get things going here in the 7th inning. So a leadoff single that brings up the DH, Hideto Asamura. Asamura tonight has had a tough night at the office. He has grounded into a double play. He's flown out to center, but he did walk his last time up. That ball that he grounded into the double play really was a potential rally killer, as there were 2 on and nobody out when he did it. Had all the makings of a big inning. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Asamura. Our friend Kevin Barnett asked at the end of the last inning, are the Eagles going to score another run? I think it's coming now. I really do. I think that they are going to score a run in this inning. So here comes the 0-1 to Asamura. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Kobakata is charging for third. Here's the throw. It is not in time. It hits him and it squirts away. A nice play by the pitcher to back it up. And Asamura is in at second with a double. He is at second. Kobakata has slid into third safely. And the Eagles have something brewing here with runners on second and third and nobody out here in the 7th inning, with Hiroki Shimochi stepping up to the plate. So if Kevin Barnett is still listening, I am calling not just a run here, but I'm calling a bunch of runs. in this inning. There will be a crooked number on the board. I do believe it. So the runner at third is Kobakata. The runner at second is Asamara. And Shimauchi steps up to the dish. It's a 3-1 ball game here in the seventh inning. And the first pitch to Shimauchi is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-1. Shimauchi tonight is 1 for 2. He has singled, grounded into a double play. He has walked and scored a run. Yeah, Kevin says, fingers crossed, he needs the Eagles to clutch up here. Let's see that crooked number. So no balls and 1 strike. Ogita holds at the belt. And he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball. This ball is swung on. It is scorched to right field. If it stays fair, it's trouble. It is. It's down the line. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And that is going to be a extra base hit and a double for Shimauchi. And that is 2 RBIs to his name. So there is your crooked number. You've got a couple of runs already here. And the Eagles look like they're hunting for more. Ball was absolutely scorched. This pitcher, Ogita, since he's come in, he has thrown nothing but batting practice to the Eagles. A single, a double, and a double has now increased the lead to 5-1. The Eagles are looking for their 9th win in a row. The living room says, what a great reference. And so here comes the first offering from Ogita. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count is ball 1 to Jose Marmoleos. Marmoleos tonight has definitely got things rolling. He's pulled his average up to 250. He's 2 for 3. He's got a single, a double, a run scored. And he lined out to right field as well. So here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul behind home plate. And the count is now 1-1. I'm really looking forward to interleague play. It's going to start happening in a couple of weeks' time. For those of you who are listening in, we are going to do the interleague games, and we are going to do some games in the middle of the night. So hopefully you guys can join us for those. Those will be 2 a.m. Pacific time or 5 a.m. on the East Coast. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marmoleos. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we are going to do it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ogita. Looks in. He comes set at the belt. And he kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 2-2. Our friend Alexander Leggett said, what games are you going to do? And we're still a little bit of ways for that. I was taking a look at it today. Probably going to do games with the Carp. Games with the Swallows. We'll try to do at least everybody when we go and do it. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined into right field. It's going to be a base hit for Marmoleos. They're going to hold Shimauchi at third, and the Eagles still have something going. That's 4 consecutive hits. And out comes the pitching coach. Maybe what they need is more of a therapist than a pitching coach, because this has been an absolute festival of hits. Living room says 5 a.m. That puts a lot of scheduled games up. Yep. That's coming in a couple of weeks' time. We were looking at that schedule earlier to see what we were going to be looking at. So to kind of give you an idea, I'll go back and have a peek at it. The interleague schedule is going to begin in late May. It's going to start on May the 24th. I'm leaning towards the Yomiuri Giants and the Orix Buffaloes. That would be on Tuesday, the 24th. That's what we're leaning towards, and maybe calling the first. In fact, probably calling all of the games in that series. Other option is the Hanshin Tigers and Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. I do like calling the games at that Hanshin at the stadium there at the Koshin Stadium. With the all dirt infield, there's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1 to Daichi Suzuki. The reason I say that I'm thinking about that is because I always check the weather. The outdoor weather for the games in Osaka, if they get rain and if it's a rain out, that'll take it off our schedule. But you always know that the dome stadiums are going to be playing. So hence the early idea of leaning towards the Yomiuri Giants. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2 on Suzuki. Suzuki's got to be wondering what's going on here. He has struck out twice tonight and hit a sac fly, but definitely those last two pitches are not in his favor. The Buffaloes have the infield in. They know if they give up another run, it could be all over here. So here comes the 0-2 offering. Kogita ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that is tap foul over on the first base side. Keeps the count at 0-2. So once we get through that Giants, Buffaloes, or potentially Hanshin Tohoku series, and that opens up a little bit, I think I'm going to be leaning towards the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Hiroshima Carp. I'll be looking to do at least a couple of games in that series. Look at that as it gets a little bit tighter as well. Once we're able to get through that, then we get into the month of June. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count's now 1-2 on Suzuki. But I definitely am licking my chops for that series between the Giants and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. That'll be at the end of May and into early June. It's definitely on our radar. And there's the 1-2 pitch delivered to Suzuki. He swings and he misses, and that is going to retire him for the first out of the inning. That's the third time today he has gone down on strikes. And that is going to bring up Fumiya Kurakawa. For Kurakawa, he is 2 for 3 today. He's got a double, a single, and a ground out. Way things have kind of gone today. You've got to wonder if this would be a double play ball here. Pretty much squash any chance for more runs, and our poor friend Kevin would probably be going crazy. They got an opportunity to cash another run in here. Here we go. Here's the first offering to Kurakawa. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So as I was saying, looking at these matchups, probably be looking at as I said, the Giants and the Hawks. But also then I'd be looking at potentially maybe even the Tigers and the Giants and the Marines. That's another one that we're looking at that I would possibly doing that entire series. There's a fastball. It's lined back to the pitcher. They throw over to first, and they almost get Marmoleos at first base. We were talking about the double play. Kurakawa hit that ball right on the screws, right back at the pitcher. He's gone for out number 2. And Marmoleos is back diving into first base. Kogita reaches up, makes a nice catch, and they almost double off Marmoleos. That would have been the double play to do it. So for a fellow who's gave up 4 hits to start the inning, he's got some lucky breaks here, and now he's got to face Ryosuke Tatsumi. But at the end of the day, I also do want to see all of the teams at least once. So I'd like to try to see the Bay Stars. I like to try to see the Swallows. And there's the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Even the Chinichi Dragons, at some point, we would want to make sure we squeeze them into our play-by-play. So I don't really have those definitive answers yet, but I know we are definitely looking at some of that stuff. So here's the fastball. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Alexander Leggett says the Carp and Swallows is either action-packed or the sweatiest pitchers duel ever. Our living room friend says the May 2-4 weekend is the Canada Day stuff, or Victoria Day. Sorry, I guess you're right on that. Really looking forward to seeing the Giants and the Hawks. I think that would be a real sweet matchup. Watching those two teams play in interleague play, it's the clash of the Titans. Be a lot of fun. Comes the 0-2 pitch. Kagita delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Mune fields it across the diamond. It's a bang-bang play, and they get the base runner Tatsumi on a ground-out 5-3. A great play by Mune, and that is going to do it here. They get 2 in the inning. There was 2 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 2 left aboard. Again, the Eagles squander opportunity. We are going to have a pitching change, and I will get that for you when we get back in just a couple minutes, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this message from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change. It is a right-hander coming into the ball game for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. It's going to be Ryota Ishibashi, as he is coming in to take over here in relief of Hayakawa. So he is coming into the ball game here. He is going to be facing the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the Buffalo's batting order. It'll be Oda, Kirbayashi, and Akita to get things going against Ishibashi. For Ishibashi, he is ready to face that right-handed hitting Oda, who got the nod at second base. Oda's been busy defensively at second. He takes a breaking ball outside. The count is 1-0. The ball game began with a couple of groundouts to Oda. He's been involved in a couple of double plays and pop-outs. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Our friend the living room points out that the Cincinnati Reds could probably be beaten. A ground ball to second. It is fielded neatly by the second baseman Kurikawa. He throws to first. That is going to retire Oda by his opposite number. Grounds out 4-3 for out number 1. Is going to bring up Kotaro Kobayashi. Just a couple of little funny things about that. One of our friends who joins in the channel, he was here earlier, was Jimmy Redbeard. Redbeard breaks. The good news for the Reds today is they didn't lose. They were postponed because of rain. In some ways, I don't even know if I can make fun or tease Jimmy, I said before, because he got 3 wins and 22 losses. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. It's hard to kind of tease them about 3 and 22 because they're just that bad. I mean, you just can't say anything more than that. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted to right field. Moving over underneath it is Shimochi. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Kobayashi for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up Ryoma Ikeda. So Ikeda is 0 for 2 today. He has struck out and flown out to right field. Ikeda had an absolute zoo root to one of the balls that was hit over his head earlier in the game. He takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Ikeda. Ikeda is now 2 for 15 on the season. He's hitting a .133. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, is grounded softly to short. Kobakata fields it over to first, and that is going to do it. The Buffaloes are going out quietly here in the half of the 7th. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 7 complete. It's the Eagles 5, the Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call of the top of the 8th inning. Hang tight. We're glad you're with us. Welcome back, everybody. We got another relief pitcher in for the Orix Buffaloes. It is going to be the right-hander, and that is going to be Vargas entering the game. This is Cesar Vargas. We've seen him pitch a few times before. He is going to be in his 8th appearance of the year. He's 0-1 on the season. He's worked 12 2/3 innings. He's allowed 16 hits. He's walked 7, struck out 11, and he has pitched to a .568 ERA. So Cesar Vargas into the ball game, the former San Diego Padre. So Vargas ready to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. Last time I saw Vargas, he had a long hair. And tonight he is sporting some shorter hair. That might be the way he's trying to change his look a little bit. There's a fastball that misses down. The count's 1-1. So it is Simatani who is up to the plate, who had a single and an RBI his last time up. He's also popped to second and flown out to center. And then it'll be the top of the order, Nishikawa and Kobakata to follow. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-2. One thing I notice about Vargas, it looks like he's trimmed down a little bit. Looks like he's lost some weight from last season. A little bit better physical shape. Here's the 1-2 offering. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted to shallow right field. Coming in is Akita. He makes the catch, and that is going to be out number 1 here in the 8th inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Haruki Nishikawa. Our friend Vivid Life jumps in and he says, I think the Reds got off to a horrible start. Yeah, absolutely. Tough competition for sure. Some injuries. Also, too, they had some players. They've retooled their team. They don't have Nick Castellanos. They got rid of Sonny Gray. Lost a couple players out of their lineup. Here's the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. And then, of course, they made the trade that sent Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez to the Mariners. Got Justin Dunn in return, a pitcher who ended up on the disabled list with a shoulder injury. There's a fastball that misses outside. Whoop. Check that. It was a called strike, a late call from the home plate umpire. Count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nishikawa. Does make you wonder a little bit. And there's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. So Nishikawa digs in, waiting on the offering from Vargas, who kicks and fires. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. Cincinnati Reds typically do a lot of house cleaning. One of the other players who's not in their lineup, Shogo Akiyama, they threw a 3-year deal at him. I think it was $21 million or $24 million for 3 years. And they just outrighted him in the offseason. They let the Punisher go. I saw he got DFA'd. That is Aristides Aquino. I don't think Aquino ever really got a fair shake there in Cincinnati at the big league level. Had that outstanding month of August a couple of years ago, and there's a breaking ball in the dirt. The count goes to 3-2. Had an outstanding August. I think he hit like 10 or 11 home runs. And he never was able to find his way into the lineup regularly. Now, granted, when he did play, he didn't take advantage of some of those opportunities. But he'd be a guy that would be a neat addition over in Japan. Guy who's got some power, can put the ball in the seats. The only problem is he was hitting like 0.53. There's a fastball that misses inside, and Vargas has walked Nishikawa. Nishikawa is aboard now for the 3rd time this evening. We'll keep our eye on that because he's not a great defender, but they are going to let him run. He's got himself 7 stolen bases on the season. Alexander Leggett said he got DFA'd. Yeah, he got DFA'd. I don't know what's happened yet, if that's been cleared. There's a certain length of time that when you get DFA'd, they'll take you off the 40-man. Another team could pick him up. He could become a free agent, or they could just send him down to the minors. If they send him down to the minors, he declines it, then he becomes a free agent. So here comes the first pitch to Kobakata, and again they throw over to first base, and again Nishikawa gets back safely head first. Vivid Life says, let's get some drinks and go try out for the Reds. Yeah, well, boy, that is a bad-looking outfit. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. I think of Hunter Green, the 100-mile-an-hour hurler, the other night against the Brewers. I think he gave up like 5 or 6 home runs. I have to go back and take a look at it, but there was like 5 or 6 balls got out, and they got out in a hurry. There's a fastball taken under the hands for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Kobakata tonight has had a nice day at the office. He's 2 for 3 in a sacrifice bunt. He's also scored a run. So here comes the 1-1 offering. And again, Vargas throws over to first. And again, diving back is Nishikawa. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Vargas looks in. He gets the sign from his catcher. There is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And the count is now 1-2. Vivid Life says he put some money on that game and it was exhilarating when the homers started. Boy, oh boy, where is it ever? As I said, I think that was where there were fights at the bat rack to get into the game. Probably fist fights from the Brewers there, wanting to be able to get to the plate to face them. Hey, let's get up and face this guy. He's throwing slop up to the plate and we're ready to hit it. So they're still concerned about Nishikawa at first base. He's got 1 foot on the turf. He's got the other in the dirt. Here comes the 1-2. It's a fastball. There goes the runner. Here comes the throw down to second. Not even close to being in time. Tongu threw that one to the left field side of the base. That's a stolen base for Nishikawa. I didn't get to see what that last pitch was. It was a ball, so the count now is 2-2 to Kobakata. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So it'd be a great spot for him to roll over to advance the runner here. So here's the 2-2. It's a breaking ball down to the dirt. The count runs to 3-2. You know, I watched this Cesar Vargas pitch. He does have some stuff on his fastball, but I'll tell you, he just does not have enough command and control here. If I'm the Buffaloes, I'm scouring the waiver wire to see if I could bring somebody else in. And here comes the pitch. It is a chopper to third. It's fielded by Mune over to first, and it's not going to be in time. And that is going to be an infield single for Kobakata, his 3rd hit of the ball game. And advancing to third is Nishikawa with 1 away, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Hideo Asamura. If you guys get a chance to look tonight at the highlights, one of the highlights that you want to take a look at, well, there's a few highlights, but one of them in particular is Sean Jelly, who made his debut tonight for the Giants. At 6'11", he is the tallest pitcher ever to play in the big leagues. He's an absolute beanpole. He makes Randy Johnson look thick. So be sure to check that out. He came in relief if you're buying a TV at some point. So here comes the first pitch to Asamura, where they got runners on the corners and 1 away. And there goes the runner down to second. The throwdown is not in time as Kobakata has stolen a base. Puts runners at second and third now. And decision time here for the Buffaloes. They got no choice but to bring the infield in. You got to kind of wonder, do you put Asamura on, but then you got to face Shimochi with the bases loaded, who's already having himself a ball game at the plate today. There is a split finger pitch that misses down and away, and the count now is 1 ball and 1 strike to Asamura. I knew Jelly was big, but boy, he even looks bigger than whatever the listed 6'11" is. Big, tall, spindly guy. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Vargas getting his sign from his catcher. He's set at the chest. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded down the left field line. It's fair. It's into the corner. One run is in. Kobakata is digging hard. He is going to score. And cruising into second base is Hideto Asamura. He's got a 2 RBI double. And that is going to expand the lead for the Eagles to 7-1. And that might just do it here, as they have cashed in with another crooked number here in the 8th inning. And may put that one out of reach for the Buffaloes. Regardless, we're still going to be here with you. Call the rest of this one out. It is Hiroki Shimochi stepping up to the plate. He's 2 for 3 today. He's got a single, a double, a couple RBIs. He's grounded into a double play. He's walked and scored a run. He's been busy. The first pitch he swings at, he grounds it over to second. It's fielded by Oda. He throws over to first. It's going to be a ground out 4-3 for out number 2. Asamura advances to third, and that's going to bring up Jose Marmoleos. For Marmoleos, he has been on fire tonight. He's got 3 hits in 4 trips to the plate. He's got 2 singles, a double. He's scored a run. He is now starting to really heat up on the season. He's got his average up to 258. And the first pitch from Vargas is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So Marmoleos steps up to the plate. He's probably looking for Vargas to continue his night, licking his chops. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 2-0. The guy that you might want to face is on deck. That's Daichi Suzuki. He has struck out 3 times tonight. The only player really in the batting order that hasn't reached base, if I can see this correctly. And there's a pitch to Marmoleos. This is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Coming in is Yoshida. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it for out number 3 here in the 8th inning. But more damage done for the Eagles. They got 2 runs in the inning, 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 7.5. It is the Eagles 7, the Buffaloes 1. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, everybody, with the call at the bottom of the 8th inning. Glad you guys could be here with us tonight. Hold tight. We'll be right back in just a moment. Guys, here's one of our Did You Knows in honor of our upcoming interleague play. This is of the Occult Swallows. Check this out. Oops. Welcome back, everybody. We've got the pitching change. It is going to be the right-hander Chi-Ha Sung coming into the ball game for the Golden Eagles. It was a big part of the Eagles last year. This season, he has appeared. He's got 6 innings under his belt. He's got an ERA of 1.5. Yep, the living room. We said, oops, for sure. We double tapped on that one. He would have been called for traveling. There are a lot of changes for the Golden Eagles. I'll have to get them for you as they come to bat. I had to do a quick hot mute there because we didn't want to sneeze in your ear. There's a first pitch fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. It's the top of the order, Noguchi, Nishino, and Nakagawa to come to bat. Kevin Barnett says, need one more run by either team. Will it happen? There's a changeup swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. Noguchi today is 1 for 3 at the plate. He's got a single in 3 trips. The question is, will it happen? Well, if they keep Vargas on the mound, the Buffaloes, then the likelihood of that happening is a yes. And there's a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. And Noguchi is retired for out number 1 here in the 8th inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Nishino. Yeah, Living Room says you have to pay on the OnlyFans for the sneezes. That's it. Had to run and get that hot button. Yep, Marmoleos has had a very good game today. He is starting to figure it out. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and it's a called strike. I look at a guy like Jose Marmoleos, and I figure that if he could get it going over there, he could probably play 5 or 6 innings. Sorry, 5 or 6 innings, 5 or 6 years. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2 to Nishino. This is our first look at Chiha Sung this year. Looks like he's dropped a couple of pounds from last season. Maybe he has got a pay raise and a better dietitian. So here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now is 1-2. Kevin Barnett says start shipping out the tissue. That or an umbrella to keep it off the microphone. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Sung kicks and fires. There is a fastball swung on, and it's driven foul into the seats over on the third base side. Keeps the count at 1-2. Nishino will be followed by the first baseman Nakagawa as he's waiting his turn on deck. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and another ball lifted foul. This one, it's going to get into the temporary seating just behind third base. Keeps the count at 1-2. I was saying earlier about Jose Marmoleos, just the way that he is now starting to come around. Think of a guy like Brandon Laird. When Laird went over there, geez, he could have it end up playing about 8 to 9 years in the NPB. A guy like Leonis Martin, who's having an abysmal year this year, able to play 3 or 4 years over in the NPB, carve out a nice niche. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball. Counts now 2-2. Guys can really extend their careers, and they can make some money over there. Usually they bring guys in who are maybe the AAA guys. There is a fastball that misses outside. The count's now 3-2. Alexander Leggett says that Laird's been around for 9 years. I think it's 8. I think he's been 8 years because, if I'm not mistaken, he started with the Ham Fighters, the Kaido Nippon Ham Fighters. And then he has now bounced over to Chiba. I think this is his 4th year with the Marines. There's a split finger pitch that is swung on. It's popped up over on the third base side. Is the substitute who's camping out underneath it who makes the catch. Not sure who that is exactly there. We'll have to get you the update on that in just a moment. As we said, they've gone into the bench, have the Golden Eagles. That looks like it's Murray Biashi who has come in. He's actually going to hit the place of Marmoleos in the batting order. The right fielder is now Tanaka. He has come in for Shimochi. And Daichi Suzuki has gone from third to first. So now he's going to bring up the first baseman, Nakagawa. The first pitch to Nakagawa is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Nakagawa today is officially 1 for 3, doubled and scored a run, and he has flown to center and grounded to short. There's a fastball swung on. It is going to reach the seats down the third baseline, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. "14 hits today pounded out by the Golden Eagles. Their day is not done yet. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. Curious to see if they roll Vargas back out for another inning of work. Friend Kevin, who is in here, wondering if that's going to happen too, because I think that's your best chances for more runs. Vargas has a tendency to be a gasoline can at times. Can really light up the offense in a hurry. That's not a good thing if you're a opposing, or it's a good thing if you're an opposing player. It's not a good thing if you're with the Buffaloes. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count's 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakagawa. Sung looking for a clean inning here. He checks the sign from his catcher, Simitani. He's ready to go to work. He kicks and he fires. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to reach the seats down the first baseline. Now the count goes to 2-2, or remains at 2-2. Alexander Leggett says, maybe I'll get a baseball card of him. My dog seems to take an interest in the NPB. Maybe because it's interrupting his nap. Yeah, there you go. Ricola says the living room. It's going to be Ricola and going to be iced tea in between. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into right center field. Racing after it is Tatsumi. He reaches up. He makes the catch just on the edge of the warning track. And Sung has done his job by retiring the side in order 1-2-3 here in the 8th inning. We're now through 8 complete, as the Buffaloes had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We're cruising to the top of the 9th inning, and the score, it's 7-1 for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And based on this, Vargas's day is done. We're going to see what other slop the Buffaloes plan to roll out to the hill. So Kevin, buckle up. You might have a chance here for another run or 2. Hold tight, everybody. We'll be back after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down, 'cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. That is Matt Hollis. He is a San Diego Padre fan, and unfortunately, we do like Matt, but we're not Padre fans here. Everybody's got their flaws and their weaknesses, but we do like Matt. Here we go back to the live action, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside to the left-handed hitting Daichi Suzuki. We do have a pitching change for the Buffaloes, as they have gone to their bullpen again. They brought themselves in a left-hander. We'll get you those in specs in just a moment. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. It is Koki Saito on the hill as he is coming on in relief. He is going to be the fourth pitcher used of the night by the Buffaloes. There's a fastball that is taken for a ball, and the count is now 2-1. So Saito is in to mop this thing up. He's got a pretty lively fastball, and he's kind of low 3/4. There's nothing like that when you have to face a left-handed batter, or left-handed batter has to face that. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count's 3-1. Saito, I'm not sure what he was watching from the bench area, but the starter Yamazaki certainly wasn't getting those close calls, and nor is Saito. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul. The count is 3-2. The one thing that Kevin must be upset about, or might be concerned about, is that Suzuki has struck out 3 times tonight. He did have a sacrifice and an RBI. He is the only Golden Eagle not to reach base in this one. Here comes the 3-2 offering. Saito kicks and delivers. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lifted into shallow right field. It's going to get down for a base hit, and that breaks that streak, as every single Golden Eagle has now reached base from the starting lineup tonight. He is aboard with a single, and that's going to bring up Fumiya Kurikawa. Good piece of hitting, really, there by Suzuki. He was able to keep his hands inside the ball and golf that one into shallow right field. With a 6-run lead, they are not holding him to the bag. He's got a big lead over at first base. This is going to bring up the second baseman, Kurikawa. And the first pitch to Kurikawa is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kurikawa tonight is 2 for 4. He's got a single, a double. He lined out to the pitcher his last time up, and he has grounded out to the first baseman. 15 hits so far for the Golden Eagles, and that number seems to continue to mount. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. Alexander Leggett says this game was over a while ago. Yes, it was. We are counting the stats at this point for sure. See if they can add more to the hit tally here. This is live batting practice at its finest. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 1-2 to Kurikawa. I've seen Saito pitch before. I remember seeing him pitch a little bit last season. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So he must be getting a little bit of work in. Here's the 1-2, and there is a fastball that is down. The third base umpire doesn't want to go home, as he says that Kurikawa didn't go. It's going to run the count to 2-2. Tatsumi is waiting on deck as he is in the 8th spot in the batting order. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And delivers. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side, and that's going to keep the count at 2-2. Living Room says this is a series of games between these two teams. Early in the week, it was Golden Week, where they have Golden Week that runs. They call it in Japan, and that's why they had some afternoon games earlier in the week. There's a fastball swung on and missed. That is going to retire Kurikawa for the first out of the inning. So the Golden Week games, obviously the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday games in Japan. And we were able to do 2 of them. I couldn't do the Wednesday game. I had another commitment we couldn't get out of. Unfortunately, that meant we had to work for real, as opposed to doing this work for not real. Here comes the first pitch to Tatsumi. It's a fastball that misses outside. Count is 1-0, and the home plate umpire goes out to dust off the plate. Not sure why. He hasn't really seemed to use it all night. So 1 ball and no strikes. Tatsumi tonight is 0 for 3, but he did reach base on a walk in the 6th inning. There's a fastball swung on his line, break back at the pitcher. It's off the glove, and that is going to get nobody as Tatsumi is going to get his first hit of the night. That ball was absolutely scorched. It went off the glove of the pitcher, Saito. It dribbled over towards Mune at third, but Mune had no chance to get the speedy Tatsumi. That is going to bring up the catcher, Sumitani. Or it's slated to bring him up. So the Golden Week games were the midweek. There are going to be, as we said, the midweek games next week. We are going to be calling, so that'll be on North American time. It'll be the Wednesday and Thursday games, if I'm not mistaken. So that means it's going to be the Tuesday and the Wednesday night North American time. So 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 a.m. on the East Coast. And here comes the first offering. It is a changeup swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. So we'll get a chance to do a couple of more as well. Plus, we're going to sneak in some MLB games. So we're going to have a full slate of stuff this week. Hopefully, everybody can pop in and join us for some of it. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Sumitani swings, and this ball is hit into right field. This ball is driven into the gap. Racing over is the center fielder, Naguchi. He makes the catch. The ball is going to be fired back in. Tagging at second and heading to third is Suzuki. And that is going to bring up the top of the order. So we're taking a peek at that one. That ball was absolutely scorched. So runners now on the corners with 2 away, and that is going to bring up the top of the order. Or it's supposed to bring up the top of the order, but instead we are going to see a pinch hitter for Nishikawa. We're looking through our files to see who this is. This is Yoshiaki Watanabe. Watanabe is stepping to the plate. So Nishikawa is done for the evening. So here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball, take it for a called strike. So right now, Kevin is biting his nails. He needs another run. There's runners on the corners with 2 outs. Living Room says, replace the 1 spot. Yeah, they seem to do this when we've watched the Eagles play. I mean, it is a 7-1 lead. He is a left fielder. He's not exactly a defensive guru. There's a fastball that misses. Count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Watanabe. Not sure who they're going to roll out into left field. I think Watanabe, I've seen him play third base. So they may have a different defensive replacement. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Saito delivers. It is a breaking ball that is waved on and missed, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. Kevin, if any of the next swings looked like this past last one, I think your inning is about over. That was terrible. Looked like the only thing he was missing was a lure at the end of his rod there because he went fishing for that one. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Saito holds at the belt, and he checks the runner. He kicks and fires. There is a fastball that is half swung on. Watanabe is gone on strikes. He's not happy about the call, but I'll tell you this. Shouldn't be happy about his swing. That was ugly. And he is retired on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the 3rd. They had no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 9th. It is 7-1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. We're glad you're with us.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, Dave. Hold tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. The substitutions keep on coming. It is going to be Hayato Yugi into the ball game here. He is going to come on and pitch in the 9th inning. So it is a pitching change and a left-hander coming in to replace Sung. This is the 4th pitcher of the ball game used tonight by the Golden Eagles. So Hayato Yugi in to finish this one off. Just a reminder for those who are not subbed to the channel, be sure you hit the subscribe button. I'll give you all the updates, and you guys will be able to know when we're going to be back on. We do list our games that we're going to be calling here in the next few days. So hopefully you could come on over and join us if you've enjoyed this. We enjoy interacting with the chat as much as we can. We're glad to be able to do that with you and have you in here with us. The joy of Japanese baseball, and to be able to share it with you in English format. So now we've got the heart of the Buffalo batting order coming to bat. That's going to be Yoshida, Tongu, and Mune. 4, 5, and 6. Yoshida is 1 for 3 today. He singled his last time up. He's also popped to short and flown to center, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Yoshida is a very important stick in the Buffalo's batting order. He is an absolute hitting machine. I talk about him all the time, how he looks like a left-handed hitting Alec Bregman. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The lefty, Yugi, ready to go back to work. He kicks and fires. There is a fastball that misses down and away. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Our friend Kevin says he tried to get the kid picking his nose on the end of the bench. Yeah. Why is it that you got to get that guy there? And why are there no fans in appearance tonight? Yeah, that's definitely a question. It is a very sparse crowd. This is a Saturday game in Osaka, and you'd think that there would be a better attendance in this. Alexander is betting that the Buffaloes are not coming back. It's probably a good choice. There is a fastball grounded back to the pitcher. He fields it over to first, and that is going to retire Yoshida on a ground out, 1-3 for out number 1 here in the 9th. I was basically saying that Yoshida looks like a left-handed hitting Alec Bregman, just the way that he stands at the plate. You ever watch Alec Bregman hit? He's just as tense as all get out. That's kind of what Yoshida looks like from the left side. Kevin says, here comes 3 planks of wood to the plate. There's a first pitch fastball that misses outside to Tongu. Tongu's had some really good swings tonight. He's got a double and RBI. He's also flown up to left and flown up to right. He's had some horrendous base running. So there is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-0. Living Room is saying that they will score here. Well, it's getting to be less likely that they will now. There's a fastball that is upstairs, and the count is 3-0. The chances of any home runs in this game, we haven't seen anything that's really been close. A couple balls have skipped to the wall, but nothing over the wall. And there's a fastball that misses outside. And there you go. There's ball 4. So there's your opportunity to have a runner aboard, and that's going to bring up Yuma Mune. So Yugi walks the batter Tongu. But as we said before, Tongu is a bit of a zoo on the base paths. We're going to see if they're going to get a runner for him. But Mune is not going to hit. It is going to be a pinch hitter, so I'm sure Kevin is probably less than impressed about that. This is Koji Oshiro, who is coming up. He is 0 for 1 on the season. So Koji Oshiro stepping in. He takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I don't know what to tell you about Oshiro. They probably, when you look at it, he's probably the bat boy. Or gets a call up from the farm team. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count, or taken upstairs for a ball, and the count goes to 1-1. Our friend in the living room says he's convinced he's going to score and he can't bet on it. Well, we're going to find out here in a bit. Well, Shiro does have a fan somewhere. They're holding up his number in the stands. Amazing considering there's hardly anybody there to watch this thing. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. You know, a lot of the Japanese games, they fly by pretty quickly. Well, this is not one of them. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. The count now runs to 2-2. But I will say this, it has been an interesting game, even though it's a 7-1 scoreline. A lot of hits, a lot of base runners, a lot of action. If you get a chance, take a look at the National Hockey League highlights between the Bruins and the Panthers, or the Bruins and the Canes. Looked like one of the fellas in the penalty box got hit with a puck or something tonight. They had to take him out on a stretcher. I just missed the highlight of it. I saw it earlier on, but not a good scene in Boston. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Oshiro. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. This ball is going to get down for a base hit. It splits the left fielder and the center fielder. And Oshiro is got himself a single. So he's raised his average up to 500 now on the season. He's now 1 for 2. A little bit of a bleeder. We're going to have to check to see where that runner ended up. Sure wasn't a deep fly ball. A lot of real estate to drop in there. So the runners are at first and second. There is 1 away, and that's going to bring up Ryo Oda. A living room said, yeah, the gentleman that got hurt was a penalty box employee. Yeah, he was there. I don't know if he got a puck or what had happened. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0 to Oda. So if Kevin's still listening here, all you need is a base hit, Kevin, and that'll probably score the run from second base. Although it is Tongo who is running. So maybe it won't. So you never know. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-0. So this easy inning of work with a 6-run lead is starting to turn a little sideways. Vivid Life is giving you some love. Living Room says the glass fell on him. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. Moving back on it is the right fielder. Looks like it's Watanabe out there on right. He makes the catch. And it doesn't look like they were able to tag and advance the runner to third. What's going on with the base running for the Eagles or for the Buffaloes here? Oh, it is Tongu who's running at second, of course. I wonder, a fly ball to right field, he wouldn't even tag. Nice base running. Saw that earlier tonight. He's going to have to go to base running school or base running camp during the summertime. So there's 2 away. There's runners on first and second. That brings up the shortstop Katara Kirbayashi, who takes a fastball on the outside, just off the outside corner for ball 1, and the count's 1-0. Alexander Leggett says, is the miracle starting here? I don't think so. I think this game is all but over. Here comes the pitch to Kirbayashi, and there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count's now 2-0. Got Bill entering into the fray here. There are 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th. It is a 7-1 scoreline. And Kentaro Kobayashi is at the plate with a 2-0 count on him with runners on first and second. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike. Count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And here comes the offering from Yugi. It's a fastball that backs the hitter Kobayashi off the plate. The count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Should Kobayashi get on, he'll be followed by the right fielder Ikeda. So here's the 3-1 offering. Yugi kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses outside. And he draws a walk, and that is going to load the bases. You got a stampede of Buffaloes all over the base paths right now, and that is going to bring up the right fielder Ryoma Ikeda. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out of the Golden Eagles dugout. Living room said the glass fell on the gentleman's head. That's unfortunate. You go to work, and the next thing you know, a bunch of riled up fans push on the glass and knock you out. So the bases are full of Buffaloes. There's 2 away here in the 9th inning. A base hit here could start to make the game interesting. But they are going to have a pinch hitter coming up here for the right fielder Ikeda, which is probably not a bad thing. Ikeda was 0 for 3 tonight. This is going to be Sachiro Oshida. So Oshida is coming in to pinch hit. And the first pitch to Oshida is a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. That goes back to I don't know what a ball and a strike is from watching this umpire work tonight, because I don't think he knows what it is either. So ball 1 to Oshida. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, charging hard right center field, charging hard as the center fielder Tatsumi. He slides, he makes the catch, and that is going to do it. This ball game is over. Nice play by the center fielder. That ball almost dropped in. That drops in. That probably scores 2. But that is going to end the ball game here. There was no runs in the inning. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 3 runners left aboard. Your final score is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 7, the Orix Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll come back and wrap this up with the out-of-town scoreboard and give you how this game ended in just a moment. But we're glad you guys could be with us here tonight for all of our action. Hold tight. Welcome back, everybody. We'll give you the final scores. We'll first start off in the Pacific League. The other 2 games are both finals. Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters came from behind after a 2-0 deficit to score 1 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th, and they knocked off the Saitama Cebu Lions 3-2. It was 3-7-0 for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters, 4-2 for the Saitama Cebu Lions. The win goes to Osawa. He's 1-4. Hirai takes the loss. He drops to 2-3. And Kitayama picks up his 2nd save. There were a couple of home runs in the ball game. Usami hit his 2nd for the Fighters. Lions Nakamura hit his 2nd. Again, your final 3-2 for the Fighters over the Lions. The final score between the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Chibalote Marines, and get this one, everybody, 16-0 was the final. An 8 spot in the 9th inning for Fukuoka really extended the blowout. 16 runs, 20 hits, and no errors for the SoftBank Hawks. 0-3-1 for the Marines. Ozeki gets the win. He goes to 3-2. Ishikawa takes the loss. He goes to 3-2. Mamori hit his 5th homer of the year for the Hawks. Yanagita hit his 5th of the year. Again, your final score, 16-0 for Fukuoka over Chiba. 2 finals in the Central League. The Tokyo Yakult Swallows knocked off the crosstown rivals Yomiuri Giants 6-2. Takahashi goes to 3-0 on the year. Matt Shoemaker takes the loss for the Giants. Home runs to Tetsudo Yamada and Murakami. Yamada's 6th of the year, Murakami's 9th of the year. And that final again was 6-2 for the Swallows. The Chinichi Dragons, behind the pitching of Matsuba, he picks up his first win of the year. He goes to 1-1. Aaron Wilkinson takes the loss. He's 1-2. Martinez gets his 8th save of the year. The Chinichi Dragons knock off the Hanshin Tigers 2-1. It was 2-6-0 for the Dragons, 1-5-0 for the Hanshin Tigers. The only other game that is still underway, it is in the 10th inning. The Yokohama Dana Bay Stars and the Hiroshima Toyo Carp are all knotted up at 1. It's 1-5-1 for Yokohama. It is 1-6-0 for the Carp. And again, your final score here, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles knocked off the Orix Buffaloes 7-1. They scored early, they scored often, and that was how it ended up going. The Eagles jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the 2nd inning. Walk to Shimauchi, a single by Marmaleos, and a sac fly by Suzuki cashed in the first run. In the 3rd inning, a double by Nishikawa, a single by Kobakata, and a double play, grounded a double play by Asamura. Ended up getting that 2nd run in. There was no RBI there. The Buffaloes ended up getting one back in their 4th inning when it was a double by Nakagawa. And it was a RBI single by Tongu, who cashed him in. That was the lone run of the Buffaloes. Then the Eagles scored in the 6th, 7th, and the 8th innings. It was a leadoff double by Jose Marmaleos in the 6th. He came home on an RBI single by Sumatani. In the 7th inning, it was a single by Kobakata, a double by Asamura, and a 2-run double by Shimauchi that put it 2 more runs on the board. And then in the 8th inning, a 1-out walk to Nishikawa, a single by Kobakata, and a 2-run double by Asamura increased the lead to 7-1, and that is how it ended. The winning pitcher in tonight's game was the left-hander Takashi Hayakawa. He improves to 3-1 on the season. Sachiya Yamazaki drops to 0-4. Once again, everybody, just as a reminder, we'll be back again tomorrow night. Same time, same place. We appreciate everybody being here. So Alexander Leggett, the living room. We appreciate everybody here, including that Bill Batbear, who popped in, Vivid Life. We also had ourselves Kevin Barnett. Earlier in the evening, we had some different folks, including Steve Rademacher, who popped in a couple of times. Not to mention, we also had Like Father, Like Son, and Jimmy Redbeard for a bit. Anybody else who was here and I missed you? Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry I missed you. But we're glad you did stop in. Once again, everybody, we appreciate you. We thank you for being here, and we'll see you again tomorrow night. We look forward to doing these same 2 teams all over again. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll talk to you again soon.